Welcome in, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series here for Marvel Rivals. It's Matsy and Two Tap Tony coming at you with another exciting evening of games. Straight to the flames, Tony, because it's going to be hot here tonight. But you know what else is hot? Straight fire. It's our sponsors. So, first and foremost, a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And of course, got to thank HyperX and Officeworks. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. When you need speed, control, and zero distractions, Officeworks has got the tech. Discover gaming gear made to handle serious play, man.
That's it, Tony. Ready for some serious play tonight and ready to have the fuel to do it? Then look no further than Indomie, the noodle partner. Made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices, a plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors. You know them, we love them, and we appreciate them. So big W's all round there, Tony, just like our teams are going to be getting tonight. But my goodness, things have been heating up in competition, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. As we check out standings here, UNSW Raw sitting at the top of the table with the Monash Mutants, both 4-0. And of course, then we go down the list, QUT, UTS at 3-1, RMIT as well at 3-1, Matt. And then, of course, a three-way tie for fourth place. Well, third place, technically. AU, RMIT, Red, and Macquarie Onyx. A very stacked top of the table. A lot of familiar faces, as well as some newer ones here at the bottom of the table, Matt.
Yeah, going to be some newer faces there. And great to see things shaping up, you know, as the competition plays on, Tone. Hopefully we'll see the Monash Maniacs take away a win here this evening as well. I think it would be great to see them actually, get a win on the board, because the one hope I have every season is that each team is able to secure at least one victory.
Absolutely. We're all for a competitive season, and, you know, we've seen the makings of some of that. You know, a few of these games have been a little bit closer. A few of them actually went to OT, of course, going back to week 1. So, yeah, I feel like anyone's capable of getting a win to their board and really shake the standings up here.
That's it. And as we are going to be shaking up the standings, we're going to shake up this game. Whew, we were talking about the Monash Mutants. Well, you know more. Here they are. The Mutants are on a screen, and they're taking on the Raw. UNSW Raw in our first best of 3. And who's going to be playing for them, Tone? Well, take it away.
Absolutely. Battle for the top of the table. Monash Mutants. It is Wosh, Pikachu, Joji, Dixon 99, Weil, and Pizza. And then for the side of UNSW Raw, Matt, we got Frost, Runk, Lick, Resh, Nuva, and Yu Wang. Yu Wang back here, baby, for this one. And I'm excited. This is a lot of high caliber talent. We saw both of these teams go toe-to-toe, I believe, back in the playoffs of our last league. So this is going to be an exciting one. A little bit of a revenge match for some of these guys here.
Yeah, going to be trying to seek out the vengeance and see if they can push on to give it their all. Speaking of, it's time to rise up into the draft immediately. We're going to see Gambit gone. Ultron, first priority for UNSW here, and Mantis will be taken away. So, surprising that the shift has been taken away from the Elsa now, Tone.
Yeah, Elsa no longer a first prior for some of these teams. Appears Mantis. And, well, Gambit pretty much always a common first man. Ooh. Monash Mutants playing with a little bit of fire. They're going to be locking in Daredevil to start it off here, Matt. I like this one. This is already a spicy draft.
Yeah, already heating up and looking to continue in that direction as well. Love the hover from Lick there also. Looking to potentially play into Black Cat, which is available this evening. So get in for hopefully someone to play into that. Ultron going to be a single-sided now, however. Monash not really caring about it. Their priorities are pretty straight, though. They're going to be taking away that invis, so they can't play into the healing capabilities there. Elsa finally will be relegated out of the draft as well, and we will see the Monash Mutants potentially getting the protect onto Mantis here. I think it's good they took that away from UNSW as well, considering the power that Leak has on that hero.
Yeah, Leak's been very effective, you know, looking over at Ignite, looking over at MRC, looking at, you know, every past performance out of Leak. It has been super comfortable for him. So yeah, taking that one away. Interesting to see where we see UNSW Raw go here. Still a lot of powerful things on the table. We'll be taking away the Van for final lock. I don't know, there's a lot of potential here.
A lot of potential here, and it will be sliding it in to High Gear in a second. Next protect on a line. Who stays, who goes? Will it be the, there it is, Vanpool going to get prioritized there. So it's a lot of single-sided priorities here. You know, they take the single-sided Ultron. Now they've done the same for the Vanpool there. Elsa, pretty much single-sided for the moment as well. I mean, considering the ban drafts or the ban line, Monash Mutants might have to prioritize it. They're looking to take away Psylocke, though, so okay. They've just given Elsa to the UNSW Raw side there. I'm kind of surprised by that. So they can play into Daredevil and Elsa if they want. Doesn't look like they're too fussed about it, though. Maybe taking into the players' hero pools into consideration there. You know, Nuva, a bit flexible, but maybe not going to be looking to play into the Elsa this time around. As we stick it to our guns on this one, just going to be looking to prioritize the White Fox forward, so it can play into the team up with Luna there. Joji looking to bring out the tried and trusted Wolverine as well. You got Pikachu on that Strange there, so unfortunately not going to be able to have access to the Invis team up because that one got banned out. But at least they can still rely upon that to really keep their front line in order here. And great to see Runk actually back on deck for UNSW Raw as well. You know, always good to see them, or formerly known as Runkler Bonting there. But great to see them in a competition all over again. And speaking of, as you might be able to tell from our names here, Frost actually going to be teammates with Joji and Wosh inside the Ignite competition there. So nice to have a little rivalry within our AEL Elite Series here as well, between teammates, if you will. But Pikachu looking to go scouting on this one, take some early low ground towards the mission area. So, like, yes, it can work, but I mean, UNSW Raw has the space and the high ground here, and they can kind of just play angles and relegate the damage out from afar onto this one. So, really curious to see what else they are going to be able to achieve here. So we'll hold back a lick. Good to focus around the backline as well. Wosh is trying to think about diving into it, but ultimately does have to fall back for a second to get a bit of peel healing onto this one. Rez, though, I like how they play around the big walls here. You know, they don't keep themselves isolated to just too many lines of sight at once. As that being said, Anuba already going to be taken out of play there. So, good start coming out from them. The Banhammer is on deck here. So, it's going to be all good in the hood on this one. And maybe more to follow, as it will be Rez going down. More to go. Monash Mutants getting on top of this one. And Tony, we're back online.
We're back online. Beautiful frontline control there from the Monash Mutants. Joji getting in some great shots there, Matt. And UNSW Raw now have to regroup. I actually kind of like this little bit of a different style of composition from the Monash Mutants, right? We've got Pikachu playing that kind of group with the two strategists, and then you've kind of just got Wosh diving in with free will. So we'll see Ensong, Inferno, Maelstrom as well from Pikachu. Some great picks to start it off once again for Monash.
Yeah, good start, and maybe more to follow. They'll be looking to hold the space on this one. Will concede it, though, now that UNSW is starting to match them, but they're not conceding it too quickly. I like how they're just holding that choke point there. UNSW Raw are trying to see if they can express their interest towards other points of contact, which could enable them. But speaking of, the Rage of Ultron are going to be the enabling factor this time, popping the boundary in response as well, so it does keep the Trader Strategist ults, but they will be able to take advantage in the end there. The focus straight towards the Strategist, and now more to follow. Dixon99 are primed into this one, and they can just isolate the two stragglers as well here, Tony. This is really good space clearance and territory control coming out from Monash.
Yeah, it's just controlling the area that they want to here. That will force UNSW Raw into a little bit of a predicament, kind of trapped in a narrow hallway, and that's kind of where Joji and Wosh can really thrive. We'll see Endsong Inferno thrown in the mix from Joji as well with a freedom charge from Wosh. They will actually opt to disengage, walk themselves back to the point. Soul Resurgence here from Dixon to keep them up and healthy. Agamotto came out from Resh, but it didn't really find its mark. You can see Nuva hold on to that Endsong Inferno to the very last moment, try to find a strategist, and they will be able to pick off Wild there.
Yeah, we'll be able to pick him off this time. And Peter will be holding her back on this one as well. OT timer primed up, ready to rumble. And they will be able to get them out with the last moment Maelstrom. So Monash bringing it back in a big way, Tone. I don't think we've seen them play like this in a long, long time.
Yeah, this feels reminiscent of the Monash of old, the Monash that made a deep run in playoffs last year, Matt. That's how far back we've seen. Well, we haven't seen this team in quite a while, so that's how far back we're going. A deep run in playoffs last time, and it feels like they're really kind of fighting for that same pedigree that we saw from them last time we saw them on stream here. But UNSW Raw, I didn't mind it. They tried a little bit of a kind of anti-dive composition. They played the triple strategist. We saw Luna, we saw Fox, and we saw as well Yuang on the Ultron. So they were trying to counteract that dive that was coming in from Wosh, and as well get a little bit of firepower back to them with that damage booster that can come from the Ultron. It just didn't feel like it worked, so they're going to be swapping it up. We're going to be seeing Rash now on the Emma. We're going to be seeing Yuang over to the Elsa that was still left up. So yeah, UNSW tinkering a little bit with the composition. We're going to be seeing another portal combat here from Monash though. Oh no, straight to the point.
Yeah, so this is what they did last time as well, where Pikachu didn't really go for scouting off that one. They didn't really care about the information. They just want to take that prime position there. And, like, I get it, but it means they can't really anticipate the fights ahead of them. I like how Wosh is trying to go for a bit of that scouting now, so they know the kind of positions of their enemies, and they can try and exploit upon that. Like, he's already splitting line of sight there, which is really great to shift focus and almost allows them a full capture over the mission area.
Yeah, it's just almost full percentage cap. Agamotto again. Pikachu's just going to waste no time in using it. Onto the strategist, they will get the fade. Great call from Runk. As well, Pikachu's just able to turn and burn the guys in the front line. Nuba's caught out a little bit too far. Now Resh is going to have to fall off and go back to the spawn, regroup with the team. Wosh takes out Yuang, and beautiful opening fight from Monash. Pikachu just using that ultimate early, just showing that they're not really scared of anything that UNSW are throwing them at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to be unfazed into this one, aren't they, Tone? So we'll be able to hold it together and calm the storm. See if they are going to be able to keep that up, though. I like how they maintain high ground here. So UNSW are forced to play into this kind of isolated one-lane approach. They are looking to try and adapt around it towards the high ground to meet them there, but it's still just like a one-track motion into this one, and it's really tough to try and break in.
Yeah, really hard to break in, especially with the Wosh using that freedom charge. We'll see Glove Apex Predator out of Yuang, trying to pincer them in this choke. Frost has swapped over the Angela. Kind of like that one. A little bit more dive-centric, but also can just get in the face of Monash if they need to. We see a little bit of a scattered approach now. Both teams forced to fall off the height here. Frost still putting the pressure on. A great amplification going to be coming out of Peter to keep everybody healthy.
Keep them healthy and wealthy in KOs. And let's see what they can do here. They will be getting the Soul Resurgence up with the Eye of Agamotto. Meteor from downtown. Not going to be able to stop them, though. Nuva's still in this one, but Monash are just absolutely shredding them here, Tone. So doesn't appear to matter whatever they bring to the fight, because Monash are just able to adapt and conquer. UNSW, though, are looking to do the same. Frost is playing into the Angela now. this might be the change they needed.
Yeah, you get a little bit of, I guess, like a two-pronged approach. You've got Yuwang Noodle kind of coming in, dishing out a ton of that hit scan damage. Then you've got Frost kind of trying to punish one of the strategists, pull them out of position here, because the strategists for Monash have been playing super effectively. I like how Wild, Dixon, and Peter are all positioned very passively. Dixon trying to get the sleep there, but Frost's going to block it. He's going to try and send Dixon off of the map there. He will go toe-to-toe with Dixon, and nothing really you can do. It's actually Resh to pick it up. Now Monash, they might have to turn and burn. BRB brings Dixon back, though, so Monash, they come out the winners still of that one.
Come out the winners and ready to spin things to fruition as it will be more KOs burned through. And looking to hold it back. A triple KO. Enjoy the short turn. Frost are doing their best to fight through it, but it just ain't enough.
Ooh, double, triple from Frost there. Beautiful stuff down to 36 points of HP. Grabs that health pack. UNSW now look to make this game a little bit more competitive. The way Monash started this one, we're like, oh no, this is got them all written all over it, but UNSW able to come back in a big way. We now see Yuwang over the Spider-Man. Might be looking for some pulls off for the map here. Of course, those environmental KOs quite deadly here on Warriors 4. Wosh still going to control the higher ground. They're going to dive onto the Luna, spots his target. Freedom charges, pops. They'll get a ton of survivability from that one, while Joji still peppering towards the back line. We'll see Eternal Bond out of Rung. He's trying to go on the Wild, put the pressure on towards the strategist, and Dixon will fall too. Two strategists down now. Peter trying to keep on line here. It's overtime on sick, and Monash Mutants, they're still trying to stake their claim for this point. I have Agamotto out of Pikachu, but he might get pushed off, pulled away by Frost, who's doing these absolute damnedest to stop Monash from doing anything, and that's overtime gone, Matt. UNSW will take the second point.
Yeah, we'll be able to take it through and get it on to a 1-1 piece there, Tone, and it almost feels like UNSW were kind of just feeling them out, you know, into that first capture point there. You know, they let it slip by, but I think now they've managed to lock it in a little bit. We are seeing Yuwang the One on to the Spider-Man now. I'm curious if they're going to play into that permanently, whether it's an early portal play or whether they're just having a bit of fun with it in the early stage here.
Yeah, it's questionable pick, right? Doji going to be going back over to the Daredevil. That's, of course, what Monash had in mind. They had Joji's Daredevil locked from minute one, but they wanted to play a little bit of a different composition. Maybe Joji wanted to get in some Phoenix Prac, who knows. But as well, Matt, we didn't get to talk too much. You know, the pre-game, the pre-show kind of went a little bit quick, but this is a little bit of an inner team turmoil, right? Wosh, Joji on JFT, so is Frost. There's a little bit of rivalry here for both these two teams as well.
A little bit of a rivalry, and could it be more where that came from, Mr. Tony? And we'll see how things go down now. The mission area gets unlocked. It's going to be that final judgment coming at ya, and they will be able to burn through. Yuwang the One locked in with spectacular spin, and they're going to get it all done with that final judgment as well. So we'll be taken away nice and quickly here onto the quad, and that's how you get it done there, Tone. Happy days all round.
Yeah, that was I don't mind that one, right? A very greedy ultimate, but also like an ultimate they probably wanted to use early for UNSW Raw, especially with, you know, this composition that's coming out of Monash, very dive heavy. We'll see 3-2-1s from Wosh and Joji probably throughout the rest of this capture for both sides. But UNSW, yeah, final judgment early to get that point percentage. You can see they're kind of playing it further forward, forcing Monash to kind of stall out the clock a little bit. I imagine they want to hold in that position for as long as possible before they kind of concede it, fall back to the point, and play the space.
And it makes a lot of sense, right? You obviously need to like try and keep that control as long as you possibly can, play into the space there, and really look to hold on firmly to it. So I'm curious, I guess, what the adaptation is going to be on both sides here. Because, yeah, right now we're evenly matched. Yuang the one making the Spidey work. It almost feels reminiscent of watching XOXO play, or at least their original formula. Right, where you had like Sung Juk Woo playing the Spider-Man pretty confidently there, and that's Yuang the One's role into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Very reminiscent of EXO, right? A few of these character picks as well. EXO really like to play the Jeff as well, so UNSW taking a little bit of a page from that book and showing what they're going to be brought to here as we get back into it, Matt. Of course, looking back at the ultimates as well here for side of UNSW, do have that Magneto Meteor M that could be very crucial in shutting down some momentum if Monash are able to find that.
See if they can make it work. Oh! Luckily, they will be able to creep back on to the map there, Tony, but that could have been nasty. Lick making it nastier now, though. It's Jeff coming out. Evacuate the map. Goodbye. And that's going to be that, Tony. Well done.
Yeah, big It's Jeff there from Lick, and we don't normally get to see Lick on the Jeff all too much. As you said, known for his Mantis and known for some of his other strategies, but I play a little bit of Jeff here or there. Doesn't mind it. Peter even pulling out the machine gun. It has to be cautious though. Yuang still floating around with his Spider-Man, trying to be a nuisance towards the backline. And the problem is with Monash, they're playing such a heavy dive-centric kind of composition, as we will see probably a little bit more of grouping for the rest of the team. And I don't know how well Strange is equipped with dealing with the Spider-Man, neither with a rocket. We'll see Agamotto come out, and now we'll see Freedom charge and let the devil out. Joji wants to let Lick know he's not happy about that last fight.
Yeah, gonna be angry. So angry. That's why we need the Hulk here. No, we don't need the Hulk. But what we do need is going to be shots to come out one by one onto this one. We're gonna spin there's something to fruition. Take it easy and take it slow. See if they can flow something together here. Drunk. We'll take it slow. Keep their team primed up. And wait patiently onto this one. Oh, you ain't the one. Peter's in trouble. Yep, I saw that from a mile away. Big focus over the Rocket. And it makes sense, right? Because Rocket arguably is probably one of their most high priority picks here.
Yeah, Rocket, definitely one of the guys they want to take out, especially with that high impact amplifier that Monash have at their disposal. Choji's just hustling with Frosty. Wants to let him know he's the king of the dive right now. Frost, of course, just having to take it a little bit. That's just the nature of the Angela. You don't really get to do a whole lot about it. Joji, though, is going to be pulled towards the backside, but the rest of UNSW Raw, they're a little bit scattered. Their strategists are a little bit too far up, and Wosh is able to capitalize with the help of Joji. And they will mark you Wang. He will opt to fall back to safety. And for the likes of Monash, very stable control at this point. Very kind of hot and cold kind of style that they're going for. Sometimes they're going in deep, like Wosh is poking his head very aggressively, almost getting taken out, and then he's going to back off. He's going to let Pikachu now hold that front line down with Dixon, and Agamotto aggressively pop mat. Beautifully played by Pikachu this time.
Yeah, well done onto that one, and they're not even finished yet, Tony. They are looking to lock in even more and take the floor into this one. Percentage climbing and quick. They need a portal. Quick, smart, otherwise it's over. OT timer will get the touch through, Tony. So here we go. Another fight locked in. Nuva getting the final judgment. It's Jeff coming out as well. They want to clear this mission area as fast as they can. They will take down the Seer, but that's kind of it for now. Looking for more where that came from. The Meteor over the top. Surely they can drop something. No! Rocket sustains!
Rocket sustains, able to run away. Joji's running away with this hold now, letting the Battens do their work, and that will be Monash claiming that first point of burn into T'Challa, Matt. But UNSW are all, they had a little bit of fight to them. One or two missed meteors, unfortunately, there for Resh. I feel like could have turned the tide for this UNSW side, especially on that last map.
Yeah, I'm really impressed how they managed to lock it together, man. Like, it was huge, you know? I thought that it was going to be a bit more one-sided than that, but Monash managed to take a bit of control into that one and show why they are one of the most powerful teams in this competition here. So, really impressed how they managed to hold it together. and they do manage to shut down UNSW onto that first map there. So what a start, Tony.
And I hate to play devil's advocate, but he's shameless. Joji, playing one of his mains, he plays this character Ignite pretty effectively, Matt, and he brings it over to Uni League, and he... Yeah, that's like the Daredevil Joji. That's like his bread and butter. Like
Joji fighting.
Joji's fighting. He's putting in too much work. He took 46 eliminations, Matt. That's why you can't give Joji Daredevil.
Hey, man, he's getting ready. He's getting ready for the big day, all right?
Yeah.
He's got to give it his all, rise up. He's got a big day ahead of him on Friday, He's got to lock in. That's why he's getting the warm-up right now.
Yeah. No, look, as much as we gas him up, of course, it was hard fought from UNSW Raw, especially for us swapping over to that Angela. I feel like if that came a little bit earlier, we would have seen a little bit more out of UNSW Raw as well. Wang trying to make that Spider-Man work. It also feels foreign that because we go from last semester where we saw Wang actually play the Magneto role, and Wang had some great dunks on the Angela. On the Magneto. I'm getting my names confused here. But yeah, he had some great dunks on the Magneto, so it feels foreign that he's not opting to play that role here for UNSW.
Yeah, not opted to play the role this time around, but obviously with different teams, you have to adapt around different circumstances. That's why on another roster, for example, you see Squashy playing Vanguard instead of their normal strategist role, which they're most known for. So, there has to be a degree of adaptability, and I respect it. I think it's really commendable to be able to have players that can kind of flex into anything, because in the best of times, that's what teams need, especially into a triple strategist heavy meta. You need to be basically able to play anything at any given time.
Yeah, we saw that from UNSW Raw as well. Wang was happy to play the Ultron at times. They gave Luna White Fox a little bit of a go, but we didn't get to see it really come to full effect. And I guess for next one, I want to see a little bit more out of that. I want to see a little bit more Luna and Mantis in play, of course. Monash getting Dixon on that one was a treat to watch. We saw Dixon really be unleashed. He was able to just free fire from the backline. Didn't even need to see any crazy sleeps because they just had a lot of upfront damage. The 3-2-1s out of Wosh and Joji were impeccable. Pikachu as well, starting to hit a few of those Eye of Agamottos. At the start, we didn't see them all too much, and then as we got warmed up into that one, as they dropped a map, Pikachu was able to find his groove there on the Strange, and Invis Strange team up, Matt. What a deadly combo to go against.
Yeah, seriously, it's just devastating what they're able to do with that kind of combination, right? And it's kind of surprising to see that UNSW Raw weren't able to really match it, I suppose. Like, you'd think that they would try and, I guess, play into the Daredevil themselves here, but obviously limiting circumstances can only take you as far as you can go, my man. So, look at that. It's you and me moving at the speed of light through these games. While we get the next map set up, everybody, we are going to head to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Rivals. Welcome back, everybody, to some Marvel Rivals here in the AEL University Elite Series. Matt's here, Do-Tap Tony, coming at you once again for our second map of this thriller endeavor. And you know what that map is, Tony? You know what it is?
What is it?
Midtown! Coming at ya! Woohoo! We going to convoy, baby! Let's go! And I can't wait to get into that. You know, Midtown, it's a map where you can approach it a lot of different ways. I feel like UNSW might have some flair behind them. I mean, you already saw them put Punisher into a bit of focus there. Maybe they can have a bit of a resurgence onto that one, but I think that they might need to reconsider some of their priorities heading into the next draft here. So curious to see what that looks like now, as the draft is the tale as old as time, and it's going across Season 7 and 7.5. Gambit is gone immediately.
And somewhat of Season 6 too, Matt. Gambit, I felt like, was a little bit of a staple ban since he's come out. Daredevil, instant lock. That's the pleasure of the red side here, Matt. They get DD uncontested. There's no way, unless UNSW Raw decided to ban it first, but they felt like Gambit is always a prio ban here. Take away Mantis. Maybe we see a one-sided Mantis here for UNSW Raw, but ooh, actually, you were just speaking about this during the break, Matt. Is that a Nuva Psylocke lock-in?
Yeah, I reckon it will be, because Nuva has shown some real strong capability onto the Psylocke into the past, and they're looking to bring that out all the same all over again. So great to see that, you know, I guess they're playing into, I don't want to call it an OTP, but like one of their stronger heroes, you know? So great to see that one being locked and loaded there, and we'll see if it's the solution they need into this next one. It's looking like double invis bans, and it will be, so we're not going to see any boundaries into this one, although I do note that there's a single-sided Mantis at the moment.
Yeah, it could just be a single-sided Mantis here for UNSW Raw. And that'd be a little bit of a juxtaposition to our last game where we got the Mantis pick for the side of Monash. And yeah, rightfully so. Mantis going to be locked in. I imagine Loki is an immediate ban here, right? No other world we don't see a Loki ban here from Monash.
Yeah, I would imagine they do not want to have a double soul resurgence if they can help it. No God of Mischief. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Do not come back. And we will have the Protect coming through next. But I'm curious when it's going to be time for the calling card. And speaking of, we are seeing the Strange prioritization here. So great to keep that one locked in, especially towards the later stages here. Because, you know, having access to that Strange enables you not just to have a lot of strength in your front Vanguard line, but also to be able to get those last moment point contests when it really counts.
Yeah, it's interesting to go for the Strange when Invis has been taken away for both sides. It feels like, as you said, you know, it's pretty good for those portal contests and a pretty good frontline Vanguard to have overall, but as well, it feels a little bit weaker without the Invis online for the side of Monash, but they're not going to be feeling too worried about it. We'll see Wild go to the Cloak. We'll see Peter once again on the Rocket, and Wosh maybe bringing it out the Thor, but of course, as we expected, that Psylocke lock here, UNSW is going to go to Nuva. And actually, for the side of UNSW, interestingly enough, the fact that they banned away the cap last minute there means they'll get the cap uncontested.
Before you attack. Get ready.
And they're going to be happy with that too. It's interesting to see Frost playing on to that one, but I am loving what Wosh is bringing out. We've seen Wosh do some great things on cap as well in the past, don't get me wrong. But now, seeing him back onto Old Faithful, the Thor there, absolutely insane. You know, we saw Wosh running it on Thor all the way since last year, even into Stage 1 last year. I think they were one of the only players in the world running Thor and running it effectively. So it's great to see them go back to what they know, you know, go back to their roots in a way.
Yeah, Wosh feels like Thor's pretty good in the neutral, right? Just the way that you can get a lot of chip damage in and then kind of play it like a Cap or a Venom, right? You can get a lot of damage in and then use that left shift to get away, just like you would with a Venom or a Cap. And we'll already see A little bit of early congestion here. Nuva going to be ducking down in towards the bunker. That's the UNSW Raw. They're playing the range here. With the Mantis Ultron, they have a ton of upfront damage potential with the double damage boost here. Gonna be hard for you, the side of Monash, to really break through that one, but Resh will select a quick one on a Joji.
Yeah, take him down, start to go to town. A Whoosh, looking to isolate the fights as well. Will force out levitation there from Rez. So good to initiate things onto this one. Frost, I like this. They're scouting, going for lines of sight here. They know they have to shut down the Daredevil, otherwise they're in big trouble. Big damage already being initiated. Rage of Ultron coming out as well. Will keep their team into the fight here and look to say goodnight. Oh, what a comeback! And they will be able to re-enable their strategist lineup just as they took a bit of damage tone. So this is great. They've forced them to regroup back to spawn, and this hits the hard reset on the attack.
Yeah, that's 7.5 Ultron for you, Matt. Of course, not Ignite Ultron that we've been seeing over in Ignite, of course, playing on a patch previous where Ultron feels a little bit weaker. Now Ultron's world, and we're just living in it. Beautiful little burst of damage now that Yu Wang has with that Ultron. We'll see Dance the Butterfly here towards the backside. Doesn't actually land all too much damage there. We'll see trade of Eternal Bond for Eternal Bond, while Runk going to be dishing those ones out, but it's Yu Wang still in this KO feed. Joji, he's been hard marked this whole game. It feels like he hasn't been able to activate here on the Daredevil this time.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to string things together exactly how they would before, but I mean, with 5 ults to their name, surely they can get something done, Tony. Surely now's the time, you would think, as Whoosh is trying to battle it out with Frost on the top ground there. Might be grounded themselves, however. Here we go. Devil coming out. And Song Inferno trying to heat it up. Are going to be able to sustain through it, though. Freedom Charge into the Soul Resurgence there. So double popping the sustainability ultimates into this one. Akamoto to try and isolate, but it's now traded. They will be able to isolate out the fight in favor of themselves here. Whoosh does get one back on the trade there, but now looking to fall down. So UNSW still have that player advantage, and they might even catch Joji here if they're lucky. Big Maelstrom, there it is. Nuba delivers, and now they've got the rage. They're looking to re-engage.
Yeah, absolutely carnage here. The battle of attrition won by UNSW. They're just waiting for so long to use their ultimates. You saw how panicked their Monash were. They used the end song, they used Eye of Agamotto, they used the Fate of Both Worlds. They didn't really see all too much success out of it, whereas UNSW, they were happy to sit on their ultimates, right? One failed Dance of the Butterfly from Nuba really started that one off, but it didn't really matter with the rest of them happy to hold them, and now we'll see Dance of the Butterfly up once again. In goes Whoosh, in goes Nuba for a double, looking for a triple KO, potentially waiting on the cooldowns. He's going to dash onto Pikachu and catch him in air. Didn't know Nuba had that kind of movement in him. And that is going to be 14 seconds left. Now Monash fully held at their gate, Matt.
Fully held off at the gates here and not going to be able to catch anything grander than that. Oh, Joji. Going to be a fighting on, but not for long. UNSW hold them off at the line there. What an incredible defense coming out from them.
Which side you're on?
Yeah, that was impeccable. Just the amount of hot potato that UNSW were playing with star players, right? Nuva coming to life there, just shutting down Joji in his time of need, right? You saw the Daredevil didn't really get going, and it was all because Nuva just marking him hard with the Psylocke, just counteracting him in times of trouble. The rest of UNSW Raw, just the follow-up from Yu Wang with those Rage of Ultrons, Rash holding the front line, Frost finding his 3-2-1s in there. It felt like we saw UNSW Raw do what Monash just did in that last domination map. The beautiful diving, beautiful coordination, and now Monash, they're on the back foot, Matt.
Yeah, they really need to emulate a similar kind of strategy into that one, right? They need to have the absolute defense of a lifetime. You know, back in the day, you'd think maybe they'd bring out something like the triple Vanguard, a triple strategist composition, but I mean, it's a different time, a different age, and it looks like it's going to be that in name and action now, as Joji is playing on to the Star-Lord. You don't see this one every day, Tony, but I'm all here and I'm all for it.
4, 3,
Yeah, Joji Star-Lord. We'll see Vanpool as well for Wosh. So Monash trying some different things here, but of course, UNSW only have to get 66 meters. So Monash, they're going to have to fight early. Joji hard-marking Nuva there up on the high ground. Yuang, though, still able to dish out a ton of chip damage. This mission vehicle continues to push. The fact that Monash are trying to play up in this top room where they need to be playing main here.
Yeah, they need to play a main, need to do whatever they can into this one.
Oh.
Be a nice KOs up front there, though. UNSW Raw are managing to break through this one. Slowly but certainly, Joji barely escaping while going down as well. It's not working out for Monash here, Tony. It's a domino effect into this one. Portal trying to come out, but it's too little too late. And that will be UNSW Raw on top.
Yeah, that was clinical. Triple strategist with Nuva's best character, or one of his best characters, right? Nuva's a pretty flexible guy. He can play a lot of different things, but we could see why the Psylocke was taken away. You can't allow this guy to play Psylocke because he's going to do that to you.
Yeah, they're going to be able to play to their strengths there, you know? That's exactly why they banned it in the first game there and why it got protected here. Because Nuva knows exactly how to play around that hero and do many, many great things. So it's just a terrifying sight to see. Regardless, they are going to tie it up one apiece now, Tony. Can you believe it?
I looking at this one, I was like, yeah, the way Monash started this series on Dom, I was like, all right, this just might be a 2-0. Monash, they've got the coordination, they've got the team cohesion. But yeah, UNSW Raw identifying the strong parts of their composition, and it's getting Nuva onto comfort picks like this. It's putting Lick on Mantis and allowing him to damage boost Nuva to points of extremity as well. Yu Wang on the Ultron just following up so many times after we thought the fight was over. It was like, all right, Monash is going to try and regroup, try to rally around this fight that they're happening. And then we saw Yu Wang just pop Rage of Ultron time and time again, and it sent Monash further and further back. Just some beautiful space control there from UNSW Raw in that one.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. You know, they kept the pressure up and continued to force their opponents back over and over again. They just had nothing to sustain them through the fights there, and they had to concede ground. It worked out perfectly for the UNSW side onto that one. They continued to deliver exactly when it mattered, exactly when it counted. So going to be happy with that one, Tone, in order to continue to hone their strengths and play it to the very best that they can.
Yeah, and for Monash, right, is it Psylocke moving up in the priorities of the ban draft, or do they just kind of keep with what they have been going for? They locked that Daredevil, but we couldn't get to see Joji come alive on that one, and then they tried a few different things. We saw Joji on the Star-Lord there towards the end, but by the time he got to give that one a whirl, it didn't really have the effect that he probably would have liked. So my question to Monash is, how do we adapt this ban draft now?
And that's the thing, right? Like, what do they do to cook this one up? I mean, do they prioritize the Psylocke again? Like, do they ban that away to kind of disengage Nuva? Like, it's really tough to consider. And I mean, it really depends on the map that they're going to as well. And I think we actually have word on that. Speaking of, that we are going to have our convergence map coming up, and it is going to be the Hall of Jalia. So here we go, Tone. Very excited for what that one looks like, you know. I think that there's a lot of potential for the teams to really pop off on this map.
Yeah, it's as well a lot of potential for a different kind of style of play, right? We've seen dive here from the side of Monash, and Hall of Jalia definitely allows that on that attack a little bit, but you have to capture that first point. So we'll probably see them go dive and then go a little bit more hybrid with it. We probably might see that Phoenix coming in again from the side of Monash, because we saw Joji kind of warming that one up a little bit when we expected to see the Daredevil just from minute one, right? He locked that one in, and then we saw Phoenix for quite a bit, and we saw a lot of impact Joji's Phoenix had in that first point on domination. But looking over on the other side of things, right? Nuva's got to know that Psylocke's probably going to get taken out this game. So where do we see the side of UNSW Raw really adapt?
Considering Psylocke may potentially get taken away there, they might opt to jump onto the Punisher or something like that just trying to think about the flexibility of their hero pool there. In an ideal world, I'd love to see them on Elsa, of all things, but I just don't know if they put the time into that hero. But we are going to be jumping in to the draft right now. Next protector will be for Monash. Gambit's gone, and Bantus probably stays.
Yeah, Mantis definitely going to be a stay pick. Ooh, okay. Monash don't really like the Daredevil anymore. They like the Captain America a little bit more. We saw what UNSW Raw could do with that one. Frost played it pretty comfortably. Of course, the coordination dives from UNSW Raw were also really good with the Cap, and it just allows that kind of 3-2-1, right? We've seen it in MRI, we've seen it in MRC. The prominence of Captain America has definitely come to fruition through this last patch, with the fact that a few characters have fallen by the wayside a little bit, and Cap's kind of one that's been pretty stock standard. But for UNSW Raw, Matt, again, we're going to see a Psylocke block.
Locked down, locked in, and that could be the biggest thorn in the side of Monash Mutants here, Tony. They're going to have to try and disengage like their strategist lineup into its fullest extent. If they're giving the duelists exactly what they want, then they kind of need to take out everything that sustains it. And they've done that to some of the bigger targets, but I mean, them getting invis is still really good, really, really good. So I'm curious what else they put focus on here.
Yeah, Invis, one side of UNSW Raw, so I like that one. From the Raw side of things, getting that one-sided Invis, we'll see Loki Ultron taken away from the Monash camp, and I imagine this last one's got to be a Daredevil again. Yeah, already hovering it, already thinking about it. Matt, it feels like I'm in the Monash camp. I've just watched them so many single time, and I'm in the head, Matt. I know what they're going to pick and ban here. It just feels like the Raw side of things, they're bringing a lot of difference here to the ban draft, whereas Monash, it's kind of very predictable. 3-strap ban line, 4-strap ban line's pretty common for a roster like them at the moment.
Yeah, pretty common, playing into the meta side of things there, just to shut down the majority of the strategists into this one, and looking to shut away the Phoenix as well. Ooh, I like this one coming out from UNSW Raw here. Does disengage some of their duelists' potential, but I mean, are they really going to be too worried about that? I really don't think so. Like, you can see Dixon's already adapting. They can play into the Star-Lord. Hela. Honestly, I'd love to see Hela come out. It's been so long, but I just know that she doesn't have as much strength as she used to there.
Oh.
Well. Oh.
Maybe?
Yeah, today could be the day, Tony. Maybe
Okay.
I've spoken it into existence. I'm not going to hold true to it yet until it gets locked in. But I like what's coming out from the Raw here as well, seeing the Namor. That's a nice change.
Yeah, Yu Wang on to Namor. Of course, not Hela Namor, because Nuva wants to play into that Psylocke. If the Psylocke goes by the wayside and we don't see the impact it would have had from that last game it did, we might see Nuva swap to the Hela. But yeah, Yu Wang, I guess he knows that Monash are going to play dive. They locked Daredevil and the Cap. It's going to be dive. Dixon going to be, unfortunately, not bringing out the Hela. It's been a while. Matt, and Hela feels a little bit weak at the moment. Star-Lord, Daredevil, probably a lot more of a stronger duelist composition here. And of course, Pikachu still going to be that frontline force that we've seen from Monash so far. And off to the races we go. Attack side first for the Monash Mutants. UNSW Raw, of course, just going to be sitting on their defensive side of things. Frost poking around this outskirts, maybe looking for a pin off the map, potentially.
Yeah, that could certainly enable them early if they can get something like that into motion. I like how Joji gets the subtle scouting as well, playing into the passive with Daredevil there. They can communicate that over to their team and they can adapt their composition accordingly. As Joji's trying to enable the attack right now already, forced into the corner, and look at that coordination coming out from UNSW Raw there, the bubble coming out for Yuwayne the Wand to stay in the fight as well. This is a great turnaround here.
Yeah, this is what they're after right now. There's the more squids as well up on the high ground, controlling the area overall. Of course, those squids just have so much cone of vision here what they want to do on the side of UNSW Raw, how they want to hold it. Of course, Magneto being that stabilizing presence that the UNSW Raw side are after. Monash looking a little bit scattered here. Looks like a duel of wits. Wosh and Frost kind of just going at it in the back side of things, the front side of things as well. Joji, though, already taking out Yu Wang.
Yeah, already trying to take him out there. It has been great to see Joji match Psylocke for Psylocke into this one. And we're going to do more where that came from. Tony Rez goes down. So good from Weil there. Monash locking down every single KO. Nuva might be looking to get that last second contest here. But I mean, now that they've been spotted, it could be a bit of a problem. Are going to play around that health pack as well, just trying to bounce it through them there, see if they can take things into their advantage. Oh, it could be a bit of a struggle. Dixon 99, that's exactly where they're going, Tony. The fight's still raging on for the time being. Akamoto up front forces the boundary, and maybe more. Kumila's unleashed, and Tony, everybody's sticking to it.
Oh, and that Meteor gets blocked perfectly. Pikachu holding up that Seraphim shield to allow the rest of this team now to fight healthy. We'll see Freedom Charge. We'll see Wild trying to dash and thrash with that White Fox, using that movability to get away. And Wosh now will try to come to play here, bouncing back on top of the strategist line here. Gets to the Butterfly as well with the Galactic Legend. Monash using so much of their utility just to get that point going for them. And we'll see all of their ultimates now gone. It's just going to be Frost to try and stall. Monash, they will be able to cap it, but at what cost, Matt? They used 4 ultimates in that engagement.
Yeah, 4 ults and a dream there, and need to see if there's going to be more where that came from, my man. As we hold a steady onto this one. Ooh, big damage over the side here. Trying their best to glide on through and pull it all together. Nuva, though, is going to be able to start off the drain and are looking to bring even more pain ahead of us, Tony. They're all eyes on Cap right now. Whoosh goes down real quick, and they look to string even more together where that came from. So Monash going to have to regroup into this and take it easy for a second.
Yeah, you're going to have to breathe a little bit. Joji, a very aggressive call to make, right? Matching Psylocke for Psylocke. Yu Wang is also matching Starlord for Starlord here. It's a mirror duelist composition, almost mirror Vanguards too. Of course, Pikachu feeling like the Strange is a little bit more healthy in this situation. While going to be swapping over towards the Luna. So Monash feeling like they need a little bit more splash damage right now with the fact that they're playing a little bit more heavy dive. We'll see Galactic Legend out of Yu Wang, trying to secure a quick KO, but that cloak bubble gives everybody healthy opportunity. But the rest of UNSW Raw are following suit. Nuva and Frost were on top of the entire team. Dixon doing his best aerial display of dominance, but he's going to be taken out by Nuva, and that's UNSW Raw holding down this mission vehicle, and it hasn't even gone that far.
It hasn't gone that far at all, Tony. Going to be a big problem here. They will be able to glide around the outside on this one. Frost doing the best they can to try and hold it together. We'll be able to match the Freedom Charge. And now Whoosh going to be all around the back line here, forcing the boundary. Peter does have the Eternal Bond as well, so there we go. We'll be able to get that on delay. Akamoto up front. Rez, though, trying to shut it down. Not going to be able to match it just yet. Runk will fall. So it's all working out for Monash here. UNSW are forced to give some space.
They're forced to give it up. They're going to be chasing on to Dixon there. Nuva and Yu Wang. Both of these dive-heavy duelists getting in the face of Dixon there and perfectly set up, but now Monash at least secured themselves the mission vehicle. Now they're trying to control the space. They're trying to do what UNSW Raw did to them, but you can already see Nuva has that dance to the Butterfly, and it will be cutting down Monash's backline, and they're looking for a third onto Dixon. We'll need the help of Yu Wang, but Nuva again unleashed on this Psylocke. Frost still harassing there onto Wosh, and Wosh kind of just has to, throw a few shields, dish a few blows back. They'll both have to shake hands and fight for this next fight.
Yeah, gonna have to shake hands and look to fight on later, as they will be holding back. Only gonna be 30 seconds remaining now, Tone, and We're going to have to get into the zone on this one. Frost has already got a good start. Dance of the Codifly coming out from Joji, though, and are looking to fight their way through. Not going to happen. Eternal Bonder runs its course there, and now they set sail towards KO City, as they will be able to lock it down. Galactic Legend are coming at you on a delay there. Honestly, I'm kind of terrified with the timing on that one, but they're just going to have to keep giving it their best.
Yeah, portal back here from Monash. Pikachu able to get him back on, but immediately losing Wosh once again. Yu-Wang just trying to hunt down this Psylocke, and it will be Galactic Legend coming in from Yu-Wang once again. Happy holidays, and nobody is getting any presents here from Monash. They are getting sent packing back to their spawn. It's a triple from Yu-Wang, potentially for the Quadra here onto Wosh. He's trying to touch, but overtime's down, and Wosh will fall with it too. And it comes crumbling down for Monash. Not able to get all too far, man. Only 63 meters in that first cap. UNSW Raw really coming to life here in the later stage of this series.
Yeah, they've turned things around in almost their entirety, haven't they? Like, it's a complete night and day type endeavor compared to what we saw at the beginning of that first map and where we are right now. Monash have just become lost at sea, if you will, with no one able to save them. So curious to see if they can manage to have the defense of a lifetime, you know, or try their best to ascend above this, because right now it's just not really working for them. But it's now time to change things up. Time to give it your all here. Rez are going to be on the mag this time around. Doing the one and bringing at you, the Star-Lord, and there it is, Tone. I talked about it before. The Nuva Punisher is here.
Yeah, that is probably a good call, especially with how mobile some of these characters are for Monash. We'll definitely need a Punisher to kind of shut it down, flying around. But we will also see something we wanted to see from Monash in that last affair. Is the Helena Mall. Goji, no more. Dixon gonna be on his bread and butter Hella. So kind of like this one, a little bit more of a defensive composition. Osh still gonna be rocking that cap though for that upfront pressure. UNSW Raw, as you said, swapping over to Nuva on the hit scan. Could be quite good at charging up that ultimate too, so we'll have that final judgment online quite quickly. All the dinks as well that Nuva's getting out. Tons of chip damage here on towards the mag, and Pikachu has to fall back to the safety of that right-hand room.
Yeah, looking to play around the big angles of safety there and see if they can get more where that came from. Already losing a couple of members to their name though, so UNSW, they know the game and they're playing it. A lick will be down in the meanwhile, however. It's going to be a decent beginning onto this one. UNSW claw ahead, one tick over the mission area and looking to take it more very, very quickly. Monash need to find a way to stall this, otherwise UNSW are going to have so much time. And there's the portal, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like enough. Nuva, those caught behind enemy lines and in front of his entire team. He'll fall. Great portal back here from Monash, but now they have to stabilize. Dixon called into action to bring that one to play. We'll see Eternal Bond used here from UNSW Raw, and it is going to be Runk diving deep for Cloak and Dagger. Peter wasn't expecting that much upfront focus, and Wosh now trying to stall once again, but it's Resh and it's Frost. And it is going to be UNSW Raw capping that with 5 minutes now to push this entire point.
Yeah, gonna have 5 minutes and a dream. And that dream might take a little less than 5 minutes if they keep up like this, but we'll see if they can change it up. Gonna play into the classic Deep Wrath team up for Monash as well here. Joji in big trouble will finally get charged back up, and that does get them towards the Eternal Bond for Peter there as well. So gonna be happy with that one, Tone, but still gonna be trying their best to get as many shots as they can out. The holidays are here. Yu-Wang the one brings all the cheer, steps into high gear, and their game is lighting up, Tone, as they will use the final judgment as well. A Nuva match in there with a boundary, trying their best to burn them down, take them out of town, but no, they're staying. They're trying their best to sway over the mission vehicle, hold on for dear life into this one.
Yeah, Nuba's final judgment getting eaten there by Whoosh, but they're pushed off. They walk away. And that will be UNSW taking home the series, Matt. Just unfortunate. There's a word for that, and I don't know if that org still exists in most esports these days, but that is what we call an unfortunate C9 there from Monash.
Yeah, M9. Unlucky.
M9.
Unlucky. Yuang the One are going to be taking away that MVP though, so you love to see it, as they will take it in 3 or in 2. It's going to be a great best of 3 endeavor onto that one, and just look at what they're able to achieve there. You know, they got the most eliminations on the board there, so good on the KO department. And you know, Nuba was actually the one to take away the most final hits, so I'm kind of impressed. You know, you would think that Nuba would get the MVP, but no.
Yeah, I would have thought so too. The way he was playing that one was pretty clean, right? The Punisher didn't really have any errors for me. You know, we saw a bit of Psylocke to start and swapped over to the Pun when they realized they probably can't play Psylocke into a comp like this. And for Monash, it kind of felt like the wagons fell off the wheel. We saw so much coordination from Joji and Whoosh in that first point of domination. And then we just saw UNSW, I guess to their credit, hold a lot of space, but as well, Monash, it felt a little bit out of sorts as we got into some of those fights there on that attack side for them. Joji swapping over to the Namor. They swapped over to the triple. It didn't really have its effect that UNSW's triple did. And yeah, just an unfortunate one. A well-deserved SVP for Woj. Still felt like he was doing a lot there with that Captain America really still getting in the face of UNSW at times. But the UNSW, a big win to put to their board.
Yeah, huge win to come through there, and eager to see if there's going to be more where that came from, really. You know, I think that it's a great beginning, and I was talking about the mutants before, Tony. You know, I'm hopeful that they can get some more traction in towards the rest of the season, because, I mean, they're not a pushover of a team. You know, they're pretty darn good. I think that was showcased pretty well into this series there. It's just unfortunate that things slipped away from them at such an early stage there. But regardless, speaking of slipping away, we're going to be slipping away from your screens right now because we have another game to set up. So we'll be right back with you after this. Welcome back, everybody! It's Matsy and Two Tap Tony coming at you with our next series of the day for our AEL University Elite Series. It's none other than Two Tap Tony versus Matsy. 1v1 in the Clobbering Club. No, it's actually UTS taking on RMIT Black. We're not going to the Clobbering Club. Sorry, guys, but we are going to this series.
Yeah, thank God. I don't think I was ready to put my units up here, Matt. But for the side of the game that's actually happening, it's UTS. RMIT Black looking at UTS. It's Mickey, Washed Soon, Hugo, J-Sune, and Anthony. And then for the side of RMIT Black, it's Air Ninja, Netra, Smiles, Divorced, Toogs, and Gillies, Matt. And it's going to be an interesting one.
I'm eager to see what these players can do. You know, we saw some professional level players before. We got even more heading into this one, and we're going to get our first set of bands here. It's going to be Human Torch. No, it's going to be Gambit, probably taken away by both of these rosters right now. I think they're taking a bit of extra discussion time before they get into it. And I'm keen to see how things go as we suit up into this one with Air Ninja and Co.
Yeah, and, you know, we'll see Gambit bands, of course. Matt, I want to talk I've got a little bit of insider knowledge. I was watching Anthony playing the other week. He's been putting a lot of strategist hours in on...
oh, my.
Oh, yeah, so maybe we see the Anthony strategist tonight. I don't know how much he's been sticking to it. I've seen a little bit here or there. But of course, we saw a lot of interesting picks from him last week and the first week as well. Anthony's one of those guys that you can expect to play a lot of wacky stuff. A lot of his team, I guess, enables that, right? Soon's that kind of stable frontline Venom presence that they're after. RMIT, though, a strong first pick here with the Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah, I was expecting this out of the last series, to be honest, and then it just kind of never broke in, but both teams are going to be able to prioritize that this time, and it's interesting to see a first ban onto the Invis. We have seen a little shift of focus in that direction, where some teams are prioritizing it over the Mantis, but I mean, I don't know, Tone. I feel like, you know, the Mantis probably higher priority in my book. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, especially out of that last series when we did see both teams get the Mantas. They really were able to use it to full effect. We saw Dixon, we saw Lick on it as well, and you know, Mantas a pretty high prio pick for some of these teams, but Loki getting taken away from the likes of UTS, knowing that the Mantis band's coming out of RMIT. They might try to take the Mantis themselves. We'll see another Daredevil lock here, Matt. UTS. They're doing something tricky with this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't take the single-sided Mantis there, but I guess they don't want to play into that kind of composition here. We'll be able to play into the Daredevil, so maybe looking to play like their Joji on this one, but they are taking away the Fox, so that does disengage some of the strategist lineups that they could play into here. And eager to see what is going to be going down. I mean... yeah, I'm just really shocked they haven't taken Mantis from RMIT Black. Really shocked.
And I'm a little shocked here. White Fox as the final ban for RMIT. And then Ultron as the final lock. So, going to be getting that Elsa Ultron combination. Normally we see it's like Elsa Mantis, but yeah, Elsa Ultron. Also Daredevil, of course, for the likes of UTS. And, yeah, White Fox for both sides being banned out is, I guess, a little interesting. I feel like it's probably to shut down the dive potential here that RMIT Black might be going for, because we know Smiles can play Cap. We know Smiles can also play the Venom. But uncontested Venom here for either side if they want to go for it. We're going to be seeing triple, though. Mantis, Luna, Ultron seems to be the new wave. And then, of course, kind of playing that 2-1-3. That we're seeing a lot of teams in Ignite also opt for. Like the UTS, though, they're going to keep it a little bit more stock standard 2-2-2 around their board.
Yeah, stock standard, front to back type composition there. You know, love to see it. But we are going to be jumping in into the fray in a second now, Tone. As we look to hone in. And, you know things are cooking when you see the Mickey Jeff coming out. They're playing into the Symbiotic Shenanigans team up as well. And they've got the Rocket up front. Curious if they'll hold on to that, to be honest. But honestly, if they did, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they have limited options. They can play into the battle recon beacon there, manage to get their teammates back into fights. They're cooking here, and I love to see it. But now we jump straight into the fray, and let's get this one into motion, Tony. Locking it in.
Yeah, locking it in. Venom Hulk. Not what I was expecting. Not a combination we've seen. Even though dive meta's been pretty prominent. A lot of these teams don't normally go for Venom Hulk, but don't mind this one for UTS. Controlling that high ground on the left-hand side while they stick soon on the point to kind of show that presence. And RMIT, they're going to have to bunk it down a little bit, go towards that right-hand side. Great freeze onto Hugo. The Anthony's already taken out of also RMIT already down their duelist, down their pseudo second duelist as well. RMIT don't have a lot of damage left.
Don't have a lot of damage at all, so gonna have to try and hold back onto this one. Oh my goodness. And sure, they get the freeze onto one there, but when you're being hunted down by two high mobility heroes, you're in trouble. So RMIT's objective right now is just to try and sustain as long as they can so they grant themselves more percentage. And they did that for a while until they didn't. Now UTS have complete flexibility. They can take as much space as they really want here. And even if they get what you would think is too close, if you're soon, for example, you can just swing all the way back to the mission area and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's just going to be able to get to the point. Doesn't really matter all too much. Tender's going to come out there soon. Well, and a ton of damage there. Hugo's going to be caught, focused out there. Great target isolation there from RMIT, and in comes Smiles with the cap. Looking to make something work. Netra, of course, on that Vanpool suit. Impressive frontline as well for RMIT. You know, both teams really putting a lot of pressure with their frontline picks here. We're going to be seeing Mickey on the fire. Smiles is all over him right now. He's going to be seeing that it's Jeff coming out, but only one swallow a piece. It's going to be the Lunar, and it's going to be the Venom. Spits the Venom out. Going to keep the Lunar hostage. Spits the Lunar out. Isn't quite able to secure the KO there, but Jay Sune in the back to take out Gillies.
In the back to take him out, and it's going to be the Cutterfly coming at you right now and ready to rumble. Going to try their best to stumble into this one time. They will be looking to get the Banhammer out, but it's a Vorst now forcing their way in. Smiles good for it as well, getting that priority strategist there. As long as they don't have a rocket, they are certainly more KOable, and they're going to be able to get themselves in the lead on the percentage board as well.
Yeah, very back and forth for both these sides. RMIT finally coming out to a lead. It's about controlling that space. We said it from the last series, right? Controlling that left-hand room. Not allowing UTS to walk up. They do have a few ultimates to play with. We'll see Hugo lashing away there on towards Netra. Netra going to be popping that bear hammer, and oh, Mickey, no. Mickey, no. Smiles is just all over him here with the freedom charge. Nothing Mickey could do to get away from that one. Hugo on towards the backside of things, trying to force a Vorst into a bit of a rough position. But is currently juggling. Gilly slept there. Hugo can't really do all too much with that ultimate. Forced down a puny batter form and taken out by a Vorst.
Yeah, good to open up the accounts onto that one. Still going to play plan for player. Fate of Both Worlds coming out from Ninja as well. We'll see the feast there. Not sure if it was required at that time, but they're still going to try and hold a steady. Tusi goes as well. So good that they didn't overcommit the ultimates into that one. I think one and the same from UTS there. They do have It's Jeff still available, but that's kind of it until the Cutterfly is available. I think RMIT Black, you know, if they do have their ult tracking on point, they can shut that one out. Ooh. They might actually be okay for another fight here.
Yeah, and Jay Sune over to the Spider-Man. Maybe looking for an environmental KO. We saw it happen almost, but unfortunately it was onto a Strange. A Strange can kind of just left shift and get back up like nothing ever happens. And we'll see RMIT take up space. Rage of Ultron coming out early here from Tugsy, trying to make something happen. Mickey has popped the It's Jeff. Looking for a good swallow, potentially onto more than just one target. We'll be able to swallow up the Ultron. Tugsy's like, I didn't know he could do that. Ultron normally pretty healthy in air, but he will be taken off. Mickey spits him out of bounds. Smiles still threatening towards this rocket. Wash just trying to get away using that dash and thrash, but Smiles is still hot on his tail. Slam on down with the shield. Netra will close it. And overtime will tick. Mickey gets another. This is quite chaotic now. Magic back onto the point as well. J-Suno with the portal. UTS is still fighting for it, but Smiles is still poking pretty little head around.
It's portal for portal onto this one as well. RMIT Black have a bit more time on theirs, so going to be happy with that. But I mean, even if they have time, they're getting absolutely clobbered right now. There's a lot of damage being thrown their way. Somehow saving through it, just barely, but not for much longer, Tony. They will finally be able to trickle in a couple of KOs to their name. And Gilly's good response back with a Maelstrom there. Agamotto, interesting timing on that one, but it's all on to Smiles now, trying their best to stay prime, stay humble, but they will tumble. So that's going to be UTS locking it in for our first capture point on Burnin' T'Challa.
That was quite chaotic, mate. Great portal back there for the stall. And then soon just not even needing a strategist to stay online. They're having to use that extra shield to stay up there, and I believe he got so much, 1300 extra HP. Venom's just so hard to take out in scenarios like that where you get so much value from dropping low. Being unchecked by your strategist means that you just get extra HP for taking a ton of damage. And for RMIT Black, unfortunately, the triple strat didn't really pay off. We saw some change up here from UTS as well. Now J-Sune to the Psylocke. We're seeing Anthony on the Magic. As we said, Anthony very flexible at the moment. Hoping to see a triple strategist out of him some stage, but I think they're just going to keep with the Animal Crossing backline that they've got.
Yeah, I think they're going to be A-OK with the Zoologist backline there. You know, they can certainly have a good time to play around with that one, but we are going to be seeing Smiles already trying their best to stay evasive, trying their best to battle it out with the Catwolf there on Hugo. So we'll see where Hugo will go. Well, I know who's going first. It's Mickey going away. Big focus from Smiles as well, trying to shut a Washed out of the game, and they will succeed. So great to concede these early KOs in favor of RMIT here. They can easily get that control and will force UTS back towards their spawn point. And the thing is, RMIT Black, they're still maintaining a pretty forward position. You know, they're taking over the high ground. They have actually spotted Soon there. So it's good that they're kind of scouting for their team without going directly into a big committed fight here.
And we're going to be seeing Avengers assemble. Smiles trying to match Capult for Capult. And we'll see both teams just kind of trading blows in that choke point. But RMIT are like, all right, let's go to the point. Let's flip it back in our favor. Mickey's going to use the It's Jeff up on the higher ground. We'll swallow up two strategists. We'll spit out his Captain America. Big value from Mickey once again on this Jeff. He's going to delay just a second even. He's going to get taken out by Andrew as he takes them off for the point. Mickey maybe just wanted to spit him a little bit lower into that KO zone, Matt, because, yeah, that is fortunate. A blunder there from Mickey.
Yeah, going to be a little slip up there, but, you know, it's all right. They can bring it back. They'll be all right. And hopefully it should be staying that way. A couple of ults are going to be available for UTS here, so they're going to be A-OK for the moment. And might even have a feast on the way in a second. Speaking of, it's going to be the Dance of the Butterfly actually trying to engage two strategist ultimates at once for RMIT Black there. So two for the price of one is honestly a worthy ordeal, and they're going to get three for that matter. Large Rocks comes out. They have the BRB, bring back J-Sune. They're feeling good if you're on UTS right now.
Yeah, feeling fantastic. Smiles bouncing around like he's playing that one, but of course Cap can do that bit better. J-Sune, though, still securing these KOs. Hugo still throwing hands there with Air Ninja, who normally we don't get to see on the strategist all too much, but takes up that role well for RMIT. Netra's back in the picture, though. Beast of the Abyss coming out of soon. Will anti a few players to try and secure those quick KOs. Netra, though, still bouncing around. That's the availability of this Vanpool. You can play it like a Cap. You can bounce around. You can get out of sightlines pretty easily. Smiles still throwing hands. Point is going back to RMIT. UTS are sent packing, and that's point capped here. RMIT now get the percentage.
Get the percentage in their favor, and they'll look to do more where that came from. They almost have the freedom charge as well, so realistically they can contest even deeper onto this one, but I mean, probably might just be used to match Hugo's if they activate first. You can see they're already trying to burst ahead while the rest of their team has that frontal focus fire just to keep lines of sight here. And looking to see if they can catch anyone around the corner. But I love how they just collapse upon Hugo's position there. Speaking of, there you go. They match it ult for ult, and now the battle rages on.
Yeah, Battle of Freedom here. Galactic Legend coming out of Anthony in the background. He's playing very safe. Normally you see a Star-Lord up in the mix. Will take the teleport. Mickey only going to be swallowing up his cap this time. Soon has taken out Gillies, though. And Mickey's just trying to play safe. He needs to be the one to keep the heals going here for UTS. Divorce now under fire here, still getting ran out by Hugo. Both players, both caps, just in each other's backlines, being so much of a nuisance now. Hugo has to stall this point because we're overtime now. And Smiles is still on the hunt, throwing fist back and forth. Divorce will take out Hugo, and now this is rough for UTS. They're starting to dwindle in numbers. They're starting to fall. And that will be all of them down, Matt. UTS will crumble. RMIT will pick up this first point.
Down but not out. That's it, Tone. Down but not out. And will be. Onwards to a flyaway on the Stellar Spaceport there. So, going to be happy to move onwards and upwards into that position. And, you know, I look towards this mission area and I see RMIT Black building up to 3 ults. 3 big ones, for that matter. You know, they've got the Apex Predator at the ready there. Can certainly get some special deliveries, especially on this part of the map. You know, I'm kind of scared. You really want to play probably more towards cover and the closer sides of the mission area. Otherwise, you might be sent far, far away real quick. One in the same, though, UTS does have the Cutterfly available, you know, pretty close to that beast there. Mickey's actually opted to change up for the cloak here, though, Tone.
Ooh. Mickey cloak?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was in his wheelhouse. I know Mickey's been playing a lot of the strategist role. He's been committing a little bit more to learning a lot more of the pool. And, you know, we normally see a gambit out of him from time to time when that one's allowed up. But, of course, I don't imagine in the uni competition it will be allowed because a lot of these teams really don't like going against the Gambit. Dance the Cutterfly here from Jaysune. Trying to isolate a quick KO, but that ultimate from Toogs, he actually nullifies the Dance of the Butterfly completely. Anthony, though, able to find Gillies. They've still unchecked Jaysune, even though the ultimate came out and nothing came of it. He's still in their backline, being a menace, poking around here. Fate of both worlds used from RMIT just to try and secure this early cap here. They're controlling the space well, forcing UTS back. They do have the healthier numbers, but then on the point, the Amplifier will come out just in time, and UTS are able to delay this capture from coming.
Yeah, good discipline coming out from UTS there, and I mean, RMIT Black, you know, I feel like maybe they popped the dance floor a little too early there. They used it to try and match them band for band onto this one, but not going to happen this time around, Tone. They do have the Hulk Smash available for UTS here, so I mean, they can control the space with it if they need to, but they don't need to overcook anything at this point. They can just hold a steady on the position. One and the same. Galactic Legend is one surefire way to absolutely rip them away. But it's going to be the Feast committed first. Here we go. Galactic Legend force the pop onto the Freedom Charge there. Trying their best to barge in. Let's see if they can take this one for a spin.
Yeah, Freedom Charge is just so powerful in denying those ultimates. I saw Soon and Anthony going for that combination. Feast of the Abyss into Galactic Legend. Hard to answer and hard to heal out unless you have that Freedom Charge that Smiles had. Greatly answered by RMIT. Hugo now trying to mark Smiles here because he's all over the backline. He needs to play this Hulk a little bit more pedal heavy, whereas Jaysune has that Dance of the Butterfly starting to come online here. RMIT Black will be using that Soul Resurgence. They've got the Globshox, the Banhammer going from Netra. Will not be able to isolate any of the members here. And now, once again, both these teams forcing to heal for each other's push here. Netra, though, still covering bases pretty well. Anthony hovering around with that Star-Lord. Jaysune has been found. Netra has been doing. Here's Kovacs, Matt. That's an impressive shot to take out J-Sune.
Yeah, somebody's been locking in on the aim training, that's for sure, Tone. And we're going to get more in from there. Hugo goes down. Well done to Evorst and Smiles for locking those in. We'll see if there's going to be anything else coming up from here. Zan Ninja will find soon in the neutral there. It's all going to be better from here as RMIT finally get things on track for themselves.
Yeah, able to finally cap the percentage, but 92 here for UTS. They're going to be sitting pretty comfortable. Just knowing that it's almost in the palm of their hands. They just have to time these ultimates well. Rage of Ultron coming out from Tugzy. We'll try and isolate a quick KO. They might find Mickey here if they're not careful. Mickey's taken out. Dance of the Butterfly nullified by the Fate of Both Worlds and the Freedom Charge. Every ultimate used there from RMIT to stay healthy, but J-Sune, a cheeky little back cap here. Galactic Legend coming from Anthony, and this is looking like the point might go to UTS. Just stalled in the piece of time there by Netra, but he will walk away. The cap is claimed here by UTS. Feast of the Abyss coming through from soon. And somehow UTS are turning this fight. They're not even winning in the KOs. They're winning on the percentage. RMIT, they've fumbled here, Matt.
Oh my days, it's gone down to the wire, and they have let it slip. So UTS will come out on top of this one. It's going to be happy days all round for Mickey and Co here, Torrent. And look at that, speak of the devil, and they will appear. It's Mickey, the MVP. Take it away.
Yeah, Mickey picking up I feel a deserved MVP, Matt. Mickey, with all of those Jeffs, was absolutely crucial in finding UTS that point. RMIT. That's so unfortunate. Netra turned around. He got back to the point. He was able to stall for just a little bit longer, but the rest of RMIT just not in tune. Comms a little bit chaotic, and UTS, they thrive in that chaos. They touch with J-Sune, and it's over just like that. And unfortunate there from RMIT. Can't really fault them. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes, you get a little bit tunnel visioned into holding that space in that choke, and, one quick back cap, it's all over. UTS playing that percentage super well there.
Yeah, they managed to play the long game onto that one, and it worked out fantastically for them. I was really impressed with how they kept themselves composed, held it together, and managed to keep control of the space there. And I mean, one and the same, I think that their ultimate management was just a little bit better. Like, it felt like at times RMIT was just committing ultimates for the sake of it there, maybe trying to take the space, when, in all honesty, I feel like they could have taken it in the neutral without, committing some of the strategist ultimates into those situations. And it just feels like they kind of let their advantage slip a little bit there. So, real unlucky, but, that's what you got to do in the long term. You reflect, and I'll look to do better in the next one. Speaking of the next one, though, Tone, where are we going?
Where are we going? That's a good question, Matt. We are going to Yggdrasil Path, I believe is what I've just been told from our production. And yeah, here we go into it. And Matt, we always ask this question after that first map, after that second map in a series like this, where there's a lot of, very experienced names on both of these rosters. What is the adaptation? Do we see potential more focus towards certain character bands here? Gambit, of course, always going to be that first from both sides, no matter what. But Invis lock in here for RMIT for this second one might change the tune a little bit.
Yeah, it might change the tune, change their perspective, and very keen and curious exactly which way this one is going to come together. As the bands look stock standard so far, that is. We do have our double gambits. Ultron are going to be focused away, and now could see the double-sided Invis protect. RMIT might have been baiting them into it, though, for that matter, but no, it's going to be Mantis. Actually, nope, there it is. Invis is going to be locked in, so we will probably see Mantis taken out.
Yeah, definitely going to be seeing Mantis taken away. Loki probably as well. Elsa, okay. That's from RMIT. Maybe they look to get Evorst Elsa at the end. But the question is, do UTS see that and go, oh yeah, Elsa's still a character that exists? Because, You know, there's so much mind games that happens in a banned draft like this. There's so many strong characters. Normally, we just see 4 strategists from both sides banned, but like, there's a lot of also really good bans. Elsa's or very prio. Daredevil as well is pretty prio. Both teams, one-sided, two-sided Mantis ban here. Both teams getting that invis. Ultron banned from UTS, but they could still lock it in here if they want to.
Yeah, could still lock it down, lock it in. It is going to be the Fox locked in on the Protect there for UTS. So, certainly play a high mobility composition around that. No Ultron on either side now. So UTS enable themselves to play into the Fox Luna team up here. RMIT, I mean, can look to do pretty much the same thing if they want. Or they can go in a whole other direction. And yeah, it's going to be that strange prioritization all over again.
Yeah, that's strange. Seems to be meta for a lot of these teams, right? We're starting to shift the narrative in OS. It feels like Strange, very much a prominent pick. Maybe a little bit of a last Hail Mary one there if you have that last lock-in, especially if you have the invis already saved, RMIT. Knowing that they can play into that one, we've seen Smiles rock the Strange, we've seen them already rock the invis as well, but both teams getting invis. We'll see Jaesune get an uncontested Daredevil here, doesn't even have to lock that one in. Interesting that UTS as well went for the White Fox save, because we haven't gotten to see that one just yet, but who knows, maybe Mickey's been practicing that one in the background, Matt. As we said, a guy that puts in a lot of work. And I imagine UTS, if they call upon it, Mickey will bring it out.
Yeah, maybe they'll heed the call to arms there. We'll see what they are going to be able to come up with here, Tone, as we look to bring out the res composition there, playing around the Adam Warlock. No, they're not. I'm trolling. No, they're looking to change it up, though, so curious how things will go. They've got Anthony there to play the long-distance poke on the Phoenix, and they've got Jaesune to kind of take it to them from a distance. So this is a good KO enabling composition, especially playing with Hulk and Venom there. It just all kind of comes together. One of the same, though. It's all divey as well for RMIT Black. Smiles back on the cap there. You know, they've got their own DD. So there's a lot that both these teams can kind of muster together here.
And the comms have got to be crazy from both Daredevils, right? It feels like a character, you know, with that the inbuilt wall hack, you're able to see everybody on the map. You know where everybody is from the side of UTS, and UTS know where everybody is from RMIT with the comms that are coming through. As you said, yeah, dive for both teams, right? Kind of only Invis and Phoenix being like backline characters, but of course Phoenix can be a little bit dive heavy too. You can get a lot of chip damage in and also kind of get in the face. Netra Toogsy taking up on that high ground pretty quickly, knowing that UTS want to control that one. They're not going to allow them. Gilly's also taking out Jaesune. This is everybody from UTS having a fall back play next to their White Fox. Keep them online for the moment, and Toogsy is still putting the pressure on.
Putting the pressure on and locking it in, Tony. Let's see if they can spin. There's something, oh my goodness, together. Soon, almost taken out of space there. Luckily, we'll be able to pop the overshield in time. Otherwise, they could have yielded that space, but no. We'll hold firmly onto position on this one. Mickey playing from a distance as well. Not going to be able to keep their team charged up, however. So it's all on Hugo now. Will concede the space, not able to land the Exile there, and it's a big problem for UTS here. I mean, they can commit the Kumiho Unleash there. There you go. We'll do it to try and hold firmly. On it to this one. No, no. And they will eventually go down, Tony. So it's Netra locking it in for 3.
Yeah, Netra, big, strange play here. Not even needing the Maelstrom with that combination from Ninja. Quad for Netra. Almost a penta, but Toogsy will pick it up. Beautiful push. RMIT just kind of letting UTS walk into them and kind of get a little bit too aggressive. Mickey a little bit late in the portal, but they're still going to nope. Okay, I thought they were going to try and go out with that one, but I don't imagine, because they'd be probably walking into KO City there, Matt.
Yeah, they're going to walk into KO City with no return. Well, maybe return later, but not now. And it is going to be Hugo. We're going to get the hops through there and got a bit of motion playing like their Foon into this one. And they will be looking to hold a down position there, Tony. But for now, they wait for their chance to push straight in. And here we go. Oh, Anthony, look at the damage stacking up. And Netra almost going down. And it will be responded to by the Feast, by the end song. Gillies could be taken out of the Kumio Unleashed there. And there we go, burning it through.
Yeah, great hold from Anthony. And yeah, exactly as you call it, trying to burn out that Kumio very quickly. Think you're going to be taken out by Smiles. You can see Hugo trying to pop around, dance around this mission vehicle. Everybody from RMIT Black, though, they're grouped up. They're playing together, using that invis, using that AoE from the White Fox to keep themselves online. Doogsy picking up Hugo. And RMIT aren't really shaken by that push that came from UTS.
Yeah, going to be able to string it all through to fruition here, Tone, and looking to zone it out. It's Miles starting off strong. Jaesune out means they can certainly play around the back line here soon. In big trouble. Does go down. Good trade though. And it will be all locked in. A Freedom Charge keeping them online a while longer. Kumio Unleashed, however, trying their best to burn through Netra. Oh, not going to be able to get it. There will be a regret onto that one. They're trying their best to hunt down Gillies, but no! Mickey has now been assassinated out of this fight, Tony. And it's going to be a scary endeavor from here.
Oh, Mickey, don't like this. It feels like that's kind of what's come to the detriment here of UTS, right? Mickey just getting taken out in some unfortunate scenarios. So many fights have been lost for UTS, but they're still trying to make it work. Jaesune let the devil out. This shut down by the Kumio Unleashed from Gillies. RMIT will just walk it up there with Kumio. They'll slam onto the Venom soon to fall, and will be taken by Toogsy. RMIT continue to put their foot on the gas, and they're not letting off here. Feels like they've changed tunes since Domination, Matt, and UTS. Their dive comp not really working for them right now.
Yeah, not working out for them at the moment. See if they can make some changes heading forward. Otherwise, they're going to be in a big trouble as they reach towards the final stretch here. Doing the best they can to hold position. But Tony, I feel like UTS is giving a little bit too much space here. Like, I feel like they should be contesting them a little earlier. And here we go. Now they're starting to get something together. Focus on the back line, priming up. But I don't know, I feel like they could have gone a little sooner.
Yeah, it feels like this cap pick probably could have come sooner. Hugo's still happy to stick with the hold, but soon, yeah, swapping off his signature Venom. You know, it's red alert for UTS. He's going to be Endsong held once again, trying to find as much of a value ultimate as possible. And again, it finds its mark there. Netra taken out by Wash. Hugo, this is why we still have the Hulk in play to deal with the Daredevil all over Toogsy. Now all over Smiles, kicking him out of his spawn while he's trying to run back. We'll be able to get out though. Hugo opting to fall to safety. And finally, a one fight for UTS.
Yeah, going to be able to spin it through with a one fight. And maybe more to follow here, Tone, as Mickey does have God of Mischief, can match the boundary pretty quickly. And right now, RMIT Black don't have any strategist ultimates. I mean, they might have a Freedom Charge in a sec, so they can realistically delayed match the Freedom Charge here, but do they need to? Probably not. I think they're going to be A-okay. Like, they can afford to kind of wait things out here and charge themselves up. Keep as much as they can. There we go. Freedom Charge now going to be committed to the bit as Jaesune immediately falling, forcing out the God of Mischief there. And UTS are slowly trickling down members. This is pretty good for RMIT here. They might be able to pressure the mission vehicle just enough to get some traction. Here we go. They're forcing UTS so far back, Tony, and it gives them so much room.
Yeah, so much room to play with. Dance of the Butterfly available for Jaesune. Yes, they're forced back all the way to the point of no return. Yeah, Gillies able to find Mickey, who swapped over to Loki, trying to get value out of the copy of any of these ultimates. UTS now really funneled into their spawn point. Wasn't Dance of the Butterfly from Jaesune, but it's answered by Air Ninja. Beautiful boundary Goes boundary once again. Agamotto in return from Netra. Everybody happy to pop their ultimates, especially RMIT, who are 4 meters away from capping it completely. Humio Unleashed coming out from Gillies. In comes Hugo with a Hulk Smash. Ensong being held by Anthony, but it will go bang this time instantly. Gillies taken out, but point is captured, Matt. That's all 3. UTS stepped off the mission vehicle.
Time to switch things up.
Step it off in step 2. Let's see what else they can do, Tone.
You'll need a top.
As it will be the flip of the sides now. My goodness. The intensity just keeps on raising into this one, and I am absolutely loving it. And you know what, Tony? I can feel the energy coming out from these teams, but I can feel the energy coming out from their supporters as well. You know exactly who you are, and these teams appreciate you. Each and every one of you. Ooh. Smiles with the Emma hover. Hey, I see what you're up to.
There you go. Oh, that's a callback, man.
Yeah, maybe paying a bit of homage to his ex-fellow Vanguard player, Gax there.
Yeah. Well, they're not X, right? You know, Smiles is still technically on the roster as a substitute.
Get ready.
But
Yeah, but ex-mainline.
X mainline, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, he might lock it in. We might see Emma Strange frontline here from RMIT on the defense. I don't mind that.
Especially in this starting section, right? I feel like it's great that they can kind of use this to create a bunker over that first choke point there. And speaking of chokes, you can get the Carbon Crush to isolate the fights here. It kind of limits the mobility in a big way, at least shutting down maybe at least one of the heroes onto this. So we'll see if it works out for them here, Tone. I'm hopeful.
They're definitely feeling hopeful. RMIT. UTS, though, they're going to be erring on the side of hopeful going into this first point attack. J-Sune already going to be soon. Finding that quick KO on a Netra with the Maelstrom. It's the ability to have that invisible team up with the Strange. For RMIT, losing Netra early isn't really a bad thing because he can just portal back. If the rest of the team were to fall in the process, they can just walk back through that portal. Yes, slowly staggering this one through. Smiles getting taken out by Mickey. Long range engagement with that invis. Of course, the piercing damage and healing always catches you off guard. And RMIT aren't even going to be able to probably contest this first one unless they drop from the hide here.
Yeah, unless they drop from the high and maybe go down low. And they're best to flow it together. Netra's already gone down and more to follow. J-Sune coming in like a whirlwind there, and we'll be able to send them packing. And Tony, look at the time bank. That's huge.
Yeah, that's so much time. UTS just, you know, shaking off that unfortunate mistouch there and that final mark in that last side. And now 5 minutes. Ton of room to play with too. Looking how far forward their vanguards are soon. And Hugo just controlling all of that choke. It's not like RMIT can kind of just walk through main. They're going to have to go for some sort of pincer maneuver. That's why Smiles is coming from the right-hand side. Tube's coming from the left, but they are getting marked completely. UTS know how these mind games work, Matt.
Yeah, they know how it works, and they just be able to push something through with this one. Double onto it, looking for more. Surely they can get it. More through Tony. Surely something can be had here. But I mean, all over again, UTS are just controlling the narrative. Like, they've got that frontal pressure. They're not allowing RMIT Black back at all. It forces them to commit the strategist ultimate here to try and even have a chance. And actually, I think there's a bit of an overcook happening from UTS now. They just use 4 ults at the same time. Okay, the whole roster of ults for that matter, Tony.
Yeah, all of them to enter the butterfly boundary after you said they were kind of overextending them. RMIT Black with a freedom charge with just a lot of room to stall this one out. Mickey Anthony taken by Tubes and Smiles just on their backline, marking them completely. This and the shield toss, the fade away from Smiles. And UTS, as you said, too many ultimates, too many cooks in the kitchen. They will burn this dish and they'll burn that attack out. RMIT with a great hold.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I mean, they only responded with like, what, 1, 2 ultimates of their own there? And now they already have the devil at the ready. Like, it's kind of insane. I think UTS could have drawn that out a bit longer, so unlucky for them. Hopefully they'll be able to charge back up later. The Devil does come out from 2Z now, though. They can play their own advantage here, keep the space in check for the time being. Getting a bit uncomfortable there, but now we're back into the neutral game.
Back into the neutral, see what we can do here. Jaysune already taking out Smiles, though, so the neutral favoring likes the UTS for the moment. Jaysune still, again, this Psylocke has been one that we've seen so far tonight. It's been quite detrimental to the team that has to go against it. Gilly's playing so safe. Anthony finding a burst. Hugo now on the charge down on towards Gilly's. Finds the Exile. Now has the invis to help them out. Hugo's bashing them both there, just getting collateral fist damage. Will be taken out slowly. Has to pop that shield. Has to jump over the gate, but the time is secure for UTS, and the push continues from here.
Continues onwards and upwards, Tone. They've got just under 4 minutes to play with here. And eager to see what else they can do, as we will be sticking back for the moment. UTS clearing a lot of space again, like RMIT Black are playing from quite a distance. Smiles is looking to change that though, so I respect it. And then they're slowly creeping up towards the mission vehicle here, just as they get towards the edge of the choke point. And they might just be able to get damage at the distance. Speaking of, Kumio Unleashed are now going to be matched by the Agamotto and the Boundary there, bringing back Jaysune with the BRB. Goes to show, like, you got to find a way to KO Washed as soon as possible. Otherwise, the team is just going to be back in pretty much any fight.
Oh my word, this Hulk is something to watch. Finally, Hugo gets his time to shine. We'll be tossing around Gillies. RMIT now in a similar situation that UTS found themselves in on that final push that was coming through, and Ensong Inferno being held. Anthony, he's waiting for somebody to walk out. He's just trying to find somebody before they get out of spawn. They'll be able to touch, but not for long with that amplifier dishing out so much extra damage. And Ninja will be taken out. Jaysune will find Gillies as well. This is looking like RMIT will fall. And 3 for UTS. 2 minutes on the clock. They didn't need that extended OT timer, Matt. So that means RMIT, they've only got a minute to play with.
Yeah, only got a minute to try and see if they can push this one as far as they possibly can. And albeit they do have the OT timer to take into consideration as well here, Tone. And they can definitely make good on that there. So, getting curious to see how things will fare, Tony, as we push on to what could be our final endeavor here. And Smiles is looking to change it up. They're looking to get serious. They're looking to bring out this thing.
Read out the thing. Smiles? Thing? Yeah, look, it's a great call. If that's the way RMIT want to go towards this hold here, it's going to be playing strange. Unfortunately, sorry, not hold, attack. Whether they play a little bit more anti-dive, because considering UTS are playing Hulk and the Psylocke, definitely want to see a little bit more anti-dive. But Netra going to be on towards the Emma this time. They're trading roles. Netra's like, all right, maybe my strangers were feeling too hot now. Netra wasn't doing too bad, so interesting to kind of poke into the mindset a little bit that they're happy to swap it up. Smiles, and a little bit of an aura walk with the cap. He's actually going to be coming out with the cap, so no strange here for RMIT Black going into their attack here. And Hugo blending in with the trees here up on the high ground.
Blending in with the trees, the camouflage coming ahead here, Tony, and it's going to be Jaysune. Overcooked a little bit there. We'll be back, though, with the Battle Recon beacon, so going to be AOK onto that one. Looking to find more space from here. Speaking of, Smiles throwing some jabs around the side there. Meets an unfortunate foe, a Fist of Hulk, and will be forced back. Luckily, they do find divorced in the meantime, so UTS good on their defensive side of things here, and RMIT Black are not able to break through at all. They're just falling down one by one there. It's just an absolute bloodbath with 5 seconds here. I don't know if they can actually get the touch through, Tony. This could be Dunzo, and that it is.
Yeah, Anthony, no more child's play, serious business with the Phoenix there to close it, hitting some impressive shots. And for RMIT, only 39 meters, Matt. UTS, this is them in their bag now. And oh, we're seeing some interesting hovers. I'm not going to fall for it yet. There's no way Anthony really brings the Black Cat out here.
Surely not. Are we going to see the calling card? They've got the team up with the White Fox there, Tone. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to play one of the most highly mobile comps they can, why not? Why not? Looks like they are going to be changing it up, though. Obviously, don't want to stick to what they did. Do have the Symbiotic Shenanigans team up as well, so it can be A-okay, Mr. Tone. A-okay.
30 seconds
Well,
before you attack.
we're going to get this one into play right now, so could definitely see that calling card coming through. I'm curious how Anthony actually plays this. You know, whether they have the prioritization over, I don't know, the portal type play there. Maybe they look to get some vision, you know, with the ward they can put up there, get their opponents marked. Considering that, yeah, they don't have something like a Daredevil like the enemy has to kind of call out the opponents there, so... Oh my days, it smiles again! Oh no, the smile special comes through there, Tony! And we caught the tail end of that one. I love it.
Oh my god, not in my precious Uni League. Smiles, you demon. Out of bound portal play, and that throws UTS out of whack now, but we'll see. That portal potentially here from Anthony, looking for flank to come through. Ring of Zona through towards the backside of things. Dash on top of the Phoenix, trying to get into the invis. That's what you want to play the Black Cat for. Marking the strategist and taking them out early. Has the mark on the rocket. Raccoon's running around, just trying to live for the moment. Anthony's chasing him down, shifting away, and UTS, with all of the chaos, will capture all 39 meters that's necessary. UTS coming out on top, a 2-0 over RMIT, and we get a little bit of Black Cat sprinkled in for the end of things. Well played.
Well done, well played. And that is going to be Anthony with the, my goodness, Black Cat MVP there. That's not something we've seen ever.
No.
So good on him for taking away that one. Wow. You know, it's uniform when you see 3 players on the same team with 13 finals each, Tony.
Yeah.
And that's not the only 3s that are on that team. You know, Mickey and Washed are one and the same. It's just soon that has to be different.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a Venom player. Sometimes you get the final hits, and then sometimes all your teammates steal them after you've hit such a massive Feast of the Abyss. But yeah, Suno, he played it well. We saw a little bit of cap as well from him, not just sticking to the Venom that he's known for. But yeah, UTS, I really liked, you know, how hot and cold they were playing with that dive comp, right? We saw it a little bit there on that defense side, and then we saw a little bit of a chaotic shenanigans. We saw Mickey and Washed go into Jeff, and I have to credit Mickey there as well, you know, MVP in that last one of Domination. Mickey played a great series. I was very impressed with how he played that one.
Yeah, really impressed with how they managed to hold themselves together there, and a really exciting series, you know, albeit it did end in 2. I feel like it was a lot closer than maybe some thought, so well done to all the teams involved, and eager to see more of them as the season progresses. But speaking of progressing, Tony, this stream's going to be progressing as we are going to be getting our next series cooked up right on the other side of this break, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Rivals soon. welcome back, everybody! We are on to AEL University Elite Series! Let's go, Tony! And you know what else we're gonna say? Let's go talk about our sponsors! So, a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world! AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
Absolutely, Matt. And of course, a big shout out as well to HyperX and Officeworks. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech, from high spec to precision gear. Officeworks has what you need.
That's it. Big shout out to them and theirs, and a big shout out to Indomie, the noodle partner. Made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices, a plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. So a big shout out to them and theirs. You know them, you love them. And you know what else we love? More rivals! It's time for Swinburne to take on the Monash Maniacs!
Yeah, we got to see one Monash team. We'll get to see the other in play as we check out the rosters for you. Swinburne, it's Golomio, Lunafra, Sparta Bang, Moxicles, Skyed, and Delta 220, Matt. And for the side of Monash Maniacs, it's Ying, it's Cosmo 34, Ubako, Kakarayoto, just had to take a sec there, Jam, and Zhao Muha. Matt, some interesting names here for the Monash Maniacs, but I heard a little bit of an O from you. You excited about the Swinburne roster?
Yeah, mate, we've got the Swinburne roster on lock here, and ooh, I love the hovers already. We got the Gambit's been taken away there. Mantis going to be locked down for Monash, with the next ban is Swinburne. Interesting to see the Loki is actually going to be banned away, but interesting to see that the Hela is going to be hovered by a Sparta Bang there and not Moxicles. We know what the Moxicles Hela is capable of, and it's going to actually be the first protect here for Swinburne.
Yeah, this is, Moxicles Hela potentially, but I know Sparta Bang's also a big fan of that one. A lot of stock standard stuff here out of the side of Monash, right? We're going to be seeing Mantis lock, Groot take it away, Cloak taking it away as well. Swinburne, of course, have already taken out the Loki, so we'll probably see two-sided Invis lock in for both these teams. We'll see Mantis Invis for the side of Monash. My question is, what else do you ban? Maybe the Strange here?
You could, honestly, especially trying to deny some of that point contest. You could. I feel like you can also double up on the Loki ban. Looks like they're going to do that. They might. I think Swinburne could match the group ban here as well. I mean, one and the same. Their options are kind of limited, right? Like, what else do they take here? Do they take away, I don't know, Elsa to limit even more of their firepower? Do they take something else? Cloak definitely can be matched. But considering there's no Loki, it still is a bit more limited. But yeah, so they're going to be pretty similar ban lines across both teams.
Your hero or villain, I'm not judging.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Delta 220 to the Magneto. A lot of picks still online. A lot of comfort picks. I was going to say, we're seeing a lot of Lords here, man. A lot of these teams are putting in the hours. Strange Invis team up here for Monash. We'll also see Mantis Phoenix, so I kind of like that duo. A lot of upfront damage, a lot of explosive damage that you don't expect, right? You damage boost your Phoenix, and then all of a sudden you're getting two-tapped by that one. Swinburne going to be locking in the Hela Namor Golem on the Maw. We know Sparta Bang with that Hela Moxicles. Coming back to play here for Swinburne, Matt, and bringing in the Luna.
Yeah, bringing in the Lunar Snow. Ready to go, Tony. We've heard about the firepower of this hero in particular, and I'm ready to see Moxicles bring it into action here. So we've seen what they're capable of on the strategist role before, and now gonna be back in the light once again. So get ready to rumble, Tony. So we'll be stumbling our way in towards the first capture point on Warrior Falls here. Here we go. Enjoy the show, everybody. We're looking to roll out, and let's see who can get the first impact into the neutral.
Yeah, it's all about the neutral. It's all about the early game, for especially Warrior Falls, right, where there's a lot of, you just kind of shake hands and walk out into this middle area. A few teams opt to take a little bit more left inside approach. We already will see Bubako take a quick one onto a few, and there's the damage boost onto the Phoenix, able to secure a quick 2 of their own as well with the Strange. Yingo will take out another. Matt Monash with a clean sweep to start.
Clean sweep to start and ready to try and rip it apart. Let's see how things will go now as Swinburne just kind of stuck playing at a distance here. Trying their best to slowly creep up, but it does give Monash a lot of space to kind of control here. Delta could be good though. I like how they're going for the flank here. Might get the Assassin's Charge, maybe. No! Almost took one of the strategists off at the mission area, but I mean, it already allows their team to swing things into action.
Yeah, squid placement's great there from Golem, getting max value out of that one. Skyde will be hooking up with the Strange. We'll be able to take it. It's actually going to be Moxicles securing that KO on the Cosmos. Swinburne will take that percentage right back, and great fight to answer that one. Delta just being a nuisance here on the Angela. It doesn't matter that he doesn't really find any of these KOs. It's more the fact that he's able to take that space. He's putting Monash in a little bit of a uncomfortable situation, and that's when the rest of Swinburne can come through and really drive that one home.
Drive it home and get ready to go, Tone. Take it slow and steady onto this one. Zhao Mahua trying their best and will be pressed away from the mission area, and maybe might have more to worry about. A Sky there trying their best to slide their enemies off the mission area. Ying, though, going to be able to bring the Kumio on leash. It's going to be the Agamotto around the back. Not going to be able to counter-attack. He's going to be Golomio, though. Flowing into 2. Looking for more, Tone. It's working out.
Yeah, it is working out cleanly. Golomio now starting to activate a little bit here on the Namor, and Monash Maniacs are sent to their spawn once again. As we build percentage for Swinburne, and it's about controlling the space, though. Where do they opt to play? There's so much open space now broken away by that wall. We can see that Swinburne probably need to play a little bit safer here, right? Out of lines of sight here, especially with the fact that Monash have that Mantis Phoenix. You probably want to be tucking down in this lower side and playing for the time here. We do have a few ultimates at their disposal, but Delta's taking it out early here. Monash could look to make an approach with that.
Ooh, and it looks like we are going to see Boundary for Boundary brought straight up now, Tony. And we still got the dance floor available if needed, so curious if they're going to cycle it. Ooh, Soul Resurgence actually going to be popped now, matched by the dance floor, so Moxicle's ready. Ooh, the Meteor could try and break through. They succeed! Oh my goodness! Monash going to be on top of that, Tony! I can't believe it!
Yeah, that's a slippery little Meteor there from Cosmo. Taking out Moxicles as the fate of both worlds happened there. Sparta Bang as well getting taken out, not really able to use that Goddess of Death. We'll have it for this next fight at least, 99%, but now Monash will slowly start to climb theirs. Don't want to overextend here though. Of course, that hell is a little bit weak in these last few patches, Matt, but still can 3-tap you if you're not careful. Delta does have that Heaven's Retribution. They can look to combo here with the Goddess of Death and just secure everybody in an isolated spot and then really rain down the damage.
Rain down the damage and get ready to go. Heaven's Retribution going to keep them in place for now and trying their best to clear the space. It's going to be the Goddess of Death. Enabled them to take it out immediately. At least the Agamotto actually getting disengaged as well, Tony. So nothing working out for anyone right now. Horn of Proteus, surely. Nope. Everything is just going to be cleaned out, Tony. What is happening right now? Somebody has a mop on this mission area, I swear, because all these ults are getting swept away.
Yeah, getting absolutely swallowed up here by Monash, and they're playing this game super passively. They're using the advantage of space, but also the advantage that now the ultimates are gone and Swinburne are going to be walking away too far. That is going to be Monash Maniacs claiming Warriors Falls.
Claiming it away, Imperial Institute of Science. Now are going to be on a top tone, and ready and waiting to get down to business here. Oh, you can see Golemyo's angry. They're already breaking pots in spawn there, Tony. They're getting serious here. I can't believe it.
We're
Take
upset.
that out on your enemies. Don't take that out on the terrain.
Yeah, we pay good money for those pots here at the Institute of Science, Matt, so...
That was an
Well,
antique.
That was an antique, how could you? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man, somebody teach this guy some manners, you know?
Yeah, if they keep that up, I'll have to make them have a word with our observer, Onipotence.
He's not going to be happy.
No.
You hear him shaking his head already. He's clenching his fists in anger.
Yeah, if they're not careful, he might zoom in on their hero. We'll see what happens there now, though, Tone, as we jump in to the game once again. The round will unveil, and the mission area shortly behind, as we will to prime up onto this one. Do have the boundary available for Monash early. Swinburne can match it if they just sustain, charge up a little bit in the neutral here. And I like how they're playing the space, but it is going to be the opening KO going their way as well, and maybe more to follow. Trying their best to heavily invest into this fight, as Zhao Mahua doing the best to evacuate as well, taking a ton of punishment on their vanguard line there, and it's working out so great. Swinburne are just forcing them to evacuate fast as lightning here.
Yeah, this is not like the Swinburne we just saw, right? They gave up early percentage, they fought back for it, and gave it up again. This is really, though, Monash Maniacs punishing them for overextension. I believe the pull there down got Moxicles off of the high ground, and they secured themselves a KO onto Golemyo. Now they're going to walk it up. No strange ult available just yet. The Agamotto doesn't come out. But Lunafra, the fact that Moxicles was taken out early, has to use that in boundary to just stall for the time for Moxicles to get back to the point here.
And they're just all up for time here, and let's see if there's going to be more where that came from. Gumio Unleashed. Oh my goodness, big commitment of ults from Monash here. And they will manage to get the Meteor through. Moxicles goes down, and it's all going up in flames. Monash, take it back.
Hate-seeking Meteor once again for Cosmos. Moxicles, how many times can you fade at both worlds? As soon as it's answered from Cosmo, though. Swinburne, going to be said. The drawing board, they get some early percentage. This time it's a flip of script. They're the ones to get that early percentage, but they're the ones to lose the point now. Hornet Proteus as well. See Goddess of Death up here. Psionic Seduction could be good. Monash, though, they have an Agamotto. They have an end song to play with. They just have to walk it up, find that angle for that strange ultimate, and then sync the end song. But we will see Psionic Seduction early. Trying to face tank that one is Xiaoma. His teammates are falling, taken out by Delta. That will be percentage back to Swinburne.
Percentage back to Swinburne, and ready and waiting here. See if they can keep that going. Spartabang will be able to find the KO onto Bubuko there, and looking for more. I like how they continue to maintain this frontal pressure over the territory, though, Tony. They're not giving too much space here. You know, they hold over this choke point, and they aren't going to just give it away for free. This is what they need to keep building up percentage, and it's working out so well.
Building up a ton here. Spider-Bang playing up on the high ground, marking the Phoenix from trying to take up that space. Now that percentage builds to almost 90%, and this is where Monash need to walk. They do have a few ultimates to play with. They just need to use them at the right time, in the right sequence, in the right combination. They will find Golemyo first before even using any other ultimates. And they will continue to walk boundary from Lunafra towards the backside of things. Boundary traded by Jams, and Monash Maniacs are sitting comfortable in their own boundary.
Oh, sitting pretty, and it's going to be the Agamotto up front as well. Not getting much for Zhao Mahua there. Up and Crush coming out as well from Delta. Trying their best to get something more. No, it's another Agamotto into the Maelstrom, and they will be able to shut down the Mantis. Ensong coming over the top though, and we'll find it is. Oh no, Tony, it's all going away here, and they will lock in a double. Not going to be any more than that. And what a way to swing it back for Monash.
Yeah, that was the fight I thought Swinburne were going to claim, but that end song came out of nowhere and really shook things up, and then All of a sudden, Monash used the rest of their members in combined to find the rest of Swinburne. Now we go back to it. Percentage capped here for Monash. We'll slowly build to 60. Swinburne, they're going to be trying to take that left-hand side on the low ground. Maybe we go for a little bit of a split play. 3 on the right, 3 on the left, and see what we can do. Cyanic Seduction trying to seduce the back line, but nothing's going to happen. Great peel coming through. Cosmo again finding advantage on the Meteor, but the Goddess of Death is caught unchecked. Spider Bang for 4. That's a Quadra out of Spider Bang, looking for the Penta potentially. Obstacle's going to steal that one away, and Sky will take the other. Swinburne turned that fight on its head, and it's all from 2 ultimates. And that is all she wrote for Swinburne. They will be able to claim that second point, Matt. And we go to a third here. Stellar Spaceport up next.
Every series today, Tony. Every series today, we go the distance on these domination maps, I swear. It's just so good and so competitive, right? I love it. Love to see it end. Eager to see more where that came from, Tone. As we are going to be jumping into yet another endeavor for the ages. It lies front and center. Monash have the, I'd say, pretty confident advantage, actually. They've got Soul Resurgence already, and they're closer to a boundary here. So I think Swinburne want to either KO their strategist line immediately, or build enough time for themselves to charge up so they can match them, if not exceed them here. But I'm curious who's going to be able to take the space early as we now look to slowly creep towards the mission area.
Yeah, we've got to see a lot of burn into T'Challa so far today. A very hotly contested one. After our first game, Swinburne going to be taking best map in the pool. Yeah, I like it. You know, there's a lot of different environments that you can play with, right? Warrior Fall enables that Angela playstyle and that environmental KO potential a little bit more, but you know, maps like this where it's a little bit more closed in, there's not a lot of environmental KOing that can happen, allows a little bit more standard play, like your Hellas, like your Namors that we see, like your Mantis and Phoenixes that we're seeing right now. A ton of chip damage, a ton of trades coming through, and it will be Swinburne actually coming out on top. They will lose Golemio, but they've got Invisible Boundary already on the point, claiming that percentage. It's just Lunafra really claiming that one. Fate of both worlds. That's the Eye of Agamotto comes through perfectly timed from Moxicles.
Yeah, and it's going to be another Agamotto around the back there. Lock it down with the Maelstrom and look for more where that came from. Sky going to be good for that and more. So Swinburne will be able to push it over the top here. And I like the isolation coming through. Cosmo just stuck in place and gets taken out of that place. So really well done from Swinburne to get some delayed KOs. And oh, they might even find another one. Ooh. There you go. It'll be Kakara there. See ya later. So happy days for Swinburne. They have even more time to build.
A small thing to note as well, I just caught it at the tail end of that KO onto the Mantis, was Moxicles changed over to the damage boost on the last second of that ultimate, so it allowed that Maelstrom to do just that little bit more to really teeter that KO over the edge there. So great call there, great little micro play from Moxicles to get Swinburne that point percentage, and now sitting pretty comfortably. A few, of course, down on that low ground, and then they've got that Helena more up on the height. They've got a strategist up there to help them. Actually, sorry, no, Namor's on the low ground. It's just Sparta banging a strategist up there. Golemio does have that Horn of Proteus available to pop. We do still see the Psionic Seduction, and immediately we call upon it. Matt and Delta will use it.
And we'll be able to catch a lot of enemies in their rays there. Horn of Proteus to try and match it, but not really going to be able to stack it together. Little play into the tenacity change this season, I think. But we do see the boundary coming up there, matched by Jam now as well. Cosmo, I like the patience here. They're not looking to pop the Meteor too early. They're kind of waiting, and patience is paying off. They do have an Agamotto around the back, but doesn't get anyone, Tone. This is an issue.
This is a little bit of a worrisome situation. Monash on the point for the moment, at least. Cosmo, and the help of the teammates, will be able to clear it out. So point finally going to be taken over. Spider-Man couldn't really find all too much from the side there with that Hella. unfortunate that, you know, the Hella nerfs really affecting Spider-Bang in that situation, I guess, kind of not able to find those isolated KOs there with the fact that Hella does a little bit less damage now at the range. Requires 3 taps instead of 2. For the likes of Swinburne now, they will take up height on the same positions that Spider-Bang is. There's so much open space. That entire wall has been taken out, Matt, so Swinburne don't have a lot of cover to walk out on.
Yeah, they really don't have much to kind of push in with here, do they? Just kind of sticking it out. Here we go. Cosmo back with that meteor. Oh my goodness. They've been taking out Moxicles every single time, Tony. Like, it's... Oh, I just feel so bad for Moxicles there. I feel like there needs to be some kind of coverage coming through, because if they keep getting burnt through their ult like that, like, surely you'd think there'd be a shield to try and help them, or maybe a mag bubble. I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. The fact that Delta's playing... It's not like Delta's playing a bad Emma Frost, right?
No.
It's just the fact that they're missing that extra shield. Sky can only react so quick. You don't have that extra bubble from a Magneto, so yeah, Moxicles getting taken out there every time with that meteor from Cosmo. And a prop to Cosmo, right? Hitting that meteor, not an easy thing to do. It's a very intricate timing there. But now, point percentage up to almost 80 here for Monash. Swinburne, they're still trying to walk up. Spider-Man still has that Goddess of Death. We need to see it really come to fruition here. Maybe combo it with the Proteus. I don't know. They've got a lot of ultimates to play with. We'll see Psionic Seduction here from Delta once again.
Yeah, big to get that over the top there, but not going to be able to get much from it. So all they can build with it really is just a little bit of presence towards the mission area. Speaking of, Stradolt's going to be a match now. Ying still going to be able to stay in box form onto this one. Trying the best to get something further. Agamotto will lock him in place. A Proteus over the top there, but I mean, it's going to be exceeded by the boundary. Jam with the patience allows their team to stay on track here, and they're looking to see if they can smack their way forward as well. Swinburne slowly but surely being swelled away from this mission area, Tony. Golemio tried to stay on this one, but they can only stay for so long. Oh no. Fate of Earth Worlds comes out, but that's going to be it. Monash, get it done, and we'll be able to take us to a second map. But my goodness, that was hotly contested for a time there, Tone.
Yeah, very hotly contested from both sides. You could see just percentage build to percentage build, early fight after early fight, and then trading piece by piece there. Ying, I have to as well give well-deserved MVP, right? A little bit of unsung savior with those Kumihos, was able to find some finals, was able to find a ton of damage to 11k there with the White Fox. And as well, I have to give credit to the Phoenix, Matt, as well, from Monash. The Mantis Phoenix team up is something that kind of got underrated in that overall domination map.
Yeah, it was kind of underrated, and honestly, not at the not the worst thing to come out of that one, Tony, but still, rough endeavor for Swinburne there. You know, they had moments of greatness, and then moments of not so much. And I guess that's the same on both teams for that matter. So, great for Monash. They have been able to pull ahead there, and we'll have a bit of flair behind them. Heading towards our second map in contention here, which is going to be none other than Midtown. So, we are going to be seeing Herbie on a deck into this one, Tony. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
I feel like we've seen Herbie a ton. He's got to be getting sick of us by now, hearing our
Herbie
voices.
needs an oil change.
Yeah, Herbie needs an oil change. He's been overworked tonight, Matt. We're going to Midtown so much here, and we'll go to Midtown once again. My question is, do we see the Mantis ban this time from the likes of Swinburne? Of course, both teams straight off the bat going to be mirroring Gambit. Yeah, never mind. Mantis lock second. Mantis ban not going to happen.
Yeah, not going to happen this time immediately. Going to be on the protect there, so Swinburne going to have to consider, what do they ban here? What do they ban indeed? It's going to be Loki taken out this time around, so won't be able to clone the Soul Resurgence there, and it will be on the Hella Protect for themselves. So, Goddess of Death is now back online.
Goddess of Death for Spider-Bang. Didn't get to see, outside of that one fight there on Warriors Falls, we didn't get to see it really go too crazy in that last point. There's, of course, a lot of hotly contested picks still up. Daredevil going to be banned here for Swinburne. Cloak and Dagger, rightfully going to be banned from Monash. You can see a lot of Cloak and Dagger hovers. I believe a few Cloak and Dagger players actually on Swinburne, so it's a good isolation there of that ban. They'll save Invis at least, so they'll have that one in their back pocket. Monash, still a ton of things they're going to have to take away. Maybe they get the one-sided Mantis. They'll take away Loki, actually. Groot Loki. Pretty solid bans here for Monash.
Yeah, I'm liking their prioritization so far, Tone. You know, they're matching the Invis onto this one. They've taken away a lot of the strategist lineup, taken away the priority pick of Groot there, so you won't be able to have a Strangling Prison to really enable some fights there, so going to be able to trickle their way into this map like some water. You know, it's going to be all streaming together, but we are going to be seeing the Cloak banned out now, so not going to have any Eternal Bonds to kind of contest the mission vehicle at all. Not too shabby. Ooh, and we have the full extent of the Deep Breath T-Bob there, so good to see what they are going to be doing into this one. Well, one of the same symbiotic shenanigans. Curious if they might play into a Jeff at some point, to be honest. I think that might not be the worst choice for Swinburne here, but I do like to see the Rocket coming out as well, especially with the BRB potential here. It'll be good. Monash, though, going to be focused up on to the triple onto this one. You know, they got the White Fox, Mantis, and the Invis, and they're ready to rumble, Tone, so let's get into it.
Yeah, triple strategist for the Monash Maniacs. Respectable one. They also get that Groot Mantis team up. And for Swinburne, interesting little composition. More defensive, of course, Helena Moore as well. Bringing the Rocket to play is a strong one. It allows you to get an extra chance at things, right? The player were to get KO'd quickly, were to come back pretty quickly. BRB Beacon's pretty good. And for Swinburne, it's going to be about how well they can hold here. Monash playing a very aggressive kind of front-to-back composition here, not dive-heavy. We normally see the White Fox in, but White Fox can definitely get in there if, you know, called upon. Get a little bit of a Mantis juice there, and you'll be seeing that White Fox do a ton of damage, but early damage coming out from Swinburne here, controlling lines of sight. Venom from Delta as well. Just currently harassing them, needs to get back though. They're topped up by the strategist, and maybe go again.
Yeah, go again, go next, and prepared to see what's going to be around the corners here. Monash doing the best they can to kind of push it past the choke point here. But they're going to be in a bit of trouble, you know. Golem with the squids there has actually found a KO, so decent start there. Swinburne are fighting back and holding the space really effectively, Tone. So really impressed with how they're able to hold it together at this stage. Curious if there will be a solid re-engagement though, as Monash now look to take steps forward. They've got one on the high ground there in the Phoenix. If they can stun one of the enemies in place, they can certainly be collapsed upon. But it's Spider Bang again, just opening the account for them.
Yeah, Spider Bang starting it off with a bang. Oh, great pull coming out there. Spider Bang going to be taken off of the high ground. Perfect one from Jam, and Jamurha going to be also able to find one as well, but the BRB brings Spider Bang back, but Swinburne slowly losing numbers, also slowly losing confidence in their space holding ability here. We're going to be seeing those Spider Bang, great answer back at least, so now they can look to walk with it. Sky Delta, they can look to walk and take that space back. They have to be cautious there. Great off angle from Cosmo with the secure from White Fox. Monash can still continue to go here.
Go right round the back there. Great to play around the shielding. Moxicles will be locked in on that one. Be able to their teammates in the frame for a bit longer, but still trying to do the best that they can, or Jam rather, but still going to do the best they can to hold on to control here. They will stroll ahead, so Delta goes down. Now looking to take this deeper into the town. Spider-Bang and Co. holding the space, though. They will concede a lot of control. Sky, at least, is able to contest with the portal, so now they can get back into the fight.
Yeah, it's straight back onto it. Like nothing ever happened. Boundary comes out of Moxicles, and we'll see Feast of the Abyss. Delta's looking for something. We'll be able to find the Mantis at least, but Soul Resurgence and Song Inferno goes bang, and it will be Sparta bang to fall. Beautiful work from the Phoenix, some beautiful stabilization from Monash. Just when we thought the boundary was enough from Moxicles to keep Swinburne going. He'll charge now onto the Venom, great sleep and great follow-up. Monash, picturesque fight from them.
You know you're always safe with me, Herbie.
Yeah, really great to see them start to build themselves up at this point, and now gonna have to do it all over again. I mean, with no ults to your name, you're just gonna have to play the neutral. Golem could displace them if they get a little too close for comfort there with the Horn of Proteus. All in the same. Have to play a drawn-out game here. They want to have further chances. So, Swinburne stepping up to the line. Gonna be big damage built up over the top here. But they're just giving up so much of this high ground, right? They're stuck playing on the ramp. It's kind of a one-lane pursuit. One is flanking, though. You can see they're trying to create some waves here. Delta and Co. will divert, but it pops the BRB, and everything's all going awry with immediate effect, Darn. I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Golem, just forcing the Horn of Proteus, trying to walk up, make something happen. The team up, gone the anti, no longer there for Golem. Spider Bang now onto the Moon Knight. Knows that they have to probably control a little bit more of this choke heavy space, considering they're only playing down main. Whereas Monash, they're playing much for keeps right now. Spider Bang at least able to find one. But Sky has to fall back. He's taking a ton of damage. Monash and Maniacs. They've got 3 minutes 40 here to play with. 2 points capped here, Matt. And Swinburne just continuing to backpedal.
Backpedal and start to pedal to the metal. They have to try and find some way to just bash back into this, right? Spider-Man switched to the Moon Knight of all things, but it's difficult to kind of combine something with it. Maybe they can combine it with, I guess, the Horn of Proteus or a Carbon Crush here, but otherwise they can use it as a zoning tool. Like, it does separate some of the teammates from each other, and so they will enable a KO with the use of the Ankh there. Not too shabby. All right, Spider-Man got a bit of motion on it, Torrent. But that's all they're going to get for now. What? Speak too soon. It's still happening, Tony.
And there's one rule of motion, Matt. A white boy in motion, he stay in motion. Spider-Bang. Well, he's rocking a different costume, Matt. So, of course, a little bit of the darker Moon Knight here. But still, those aren't stitching out a ton towards the back line of Monash. They'll walk with the Kumio. Visible boundary, but Meteor from Cosmo could be good if it sinks onto Moxicles. It won't find it. It'll find Lunafra instead. Cosmo has been very precise with these Meteors. Now Delta pushed back and pulled into the back line of Monash. Sky's still having to walk it back. They do still have a few ultimates to play with. Lunafra does have that amplifier for this next one, but 2 minutes. And Monash almost starting to round this corner here. They need to be locked in.
Need to lock it down and lock it in as soon as they can, Mr. Tony. We gotta be jumping into it. Lunafra ready with the Sia there. Nagamoto trying to displace it though. Carbon Crush in response. It's too little too late. I speak on that. As the Meteor comes down, it's a double KO and more in store. Swinburne ain't done yet, Tony. They're doing the very best they can to clear this. And they will succeed now with great speed. So well done. 1.5 minutes to go, Tony. And it's all upwards from here.
I like this adaptation. Golem over to Mantis. Now playing a triple. Strategist composition from Swinburne's side of things. That's, I guess, what they're trying to answer, right? If you can't beat them, join them. Delta. Like Seduction. Needs to be careful, though. Almost getting taken out there. A little bit too deep in the party. We'll have the strategist to help. The Khonshu comes out from Spider Bang. He doesn't do all too much. Nobody from Monash walks into that one. They kite this fight out perfectly. Cosmo takes out Delta, and now they can look to walk with that.
Yeah, look to go places. Soul Resurgence now matched by the boundary, so could be further matched. Straddle for straddle. Kumio hasn't been unleashed, however, just yet, so Ying might have the advantage into this one. They might not even use it. They've got the opening KO there. There you go. It's going to be the hand of Khonshu to shut down the Mantis at a minimum, but it's immediately traded there. So a bit difficult to try and exceed this one, Tony. And I mean, they're still wreaking havoc on the back line. Ying refuses to go down as they force them out of position. The time trickling in, but they are still stalling.
Oh my word, the Phoenix and Song Inferno comes out at the perfect time. And that shuts down the amplifier. Lunafra's out. Meteor, just for a little bit of style points. Monash will get the full cap at 3 with 6 seconds left on the clock. So they'll add a minute to their board if this goes to OT. Matt Swinburne, pressure's on here.
Pressure's on. Lock it down. Lock it in, mate. Otherwise, it will be the gate shut. And Monash going to be taking it. Let's see what they can manage as we jump in into the next portion now, Tony. Delta on the ammo once again. Sky there on the mag. Certainly is try and earn their keep into this one. As we prepare for battle, and you have a double up of team ups there with Emma Frost and the White Fox. So that's going to be pretty solid for Swinburne. Curious if or how Delta will play around the additional ice walls that they can put into play here. Can definitely make impacts, you know, especially playing into the diamond form there, get the kick, and they're lit up. So, yeah, love to see it, those little combinations. But we are going to see more combinations as we jump into the game within the next 18 seconds, Tony. These teams now need to lock in more than ever. And Monash, it's time for the defense of a lifetime, or it's time to go OT.
This is Swinburne's chance to lock in. Monash, again, getting the Mantis Phoenix has been to their success, and as well, all of these Endsong Infernos out of the Phoenix has been quite cool to see. Moxicle Sparta Bang, though, this is an interesting position to be playing from. High ground behind, and all Phoenix is going to get taken out. Flank Luna from Moxicles, finding that quick KO. Now that's actually sent Monash into a tailspin. They've set the Strange up there to deal with it. Try and block Sparta Bang and Moxicles off, but they're still putting this pressure on.
Still got the pressure on, still in there. Big damage over the top. Oh, they will not be able to drop it, but they might have followed it up. Good double jumper there coming out from a Jam. Does escape for the moment. Can create a bit of distance between them and their team. And now Swinburne can try and push ahead on it. Big freeze there, but they immediately escape. A little too much damage. Oh, Moxicles, great escape as well. Does play their angles to success and will be able to bless their team. They're still pushing up around this corner. Monash is slowly but surely going down here. You'd expect the Khonshu could be around the corner as well, Tony. Oh, I'm ready. But they might not even need it.
Oh, they definitely won't need it. Which is how they're walking up with all the space, all the confidence, all the backpedaling coming out from Monash. Valamio onto the White Fox now. Did give Mantis a well. That White Fox team up with Luna's pretty good. And as you mentioned, the Luna and Emma Frost team up also pretty effective. 5 minutes for Swinburne, and Moxicles is still going. Like Luna, more like frontline Luna. Just making all the space here with Sparta banging 2 casualties to Monash's board, and they're only just coming out of the stairwell.
Yeah, only just coming up to the stairwell there, and I gotta say, you know, the power on Moxicles, Luna, Snow looking like they're playing like Daxu. Very powerful players coming into mind there, Tony, and you're gonna see more where that came from. We'll jump in to a further motion. They will actually catch the Mantis off guard. Delta's not even done yet, Tony.
Yeah, Delta's not done yet till that Silent Seduction is built up. And I don't think I've seen Daxu ever play Luna Snow, but it could move like Moxicles in just a little bit if we get to see that one ever. Cosmo, though, will shut down that flank Luna from finally coming through. Fully charged, though. Delta just dishing out a ton on towards that White Fox. Monash in this back line might have to deal with the Khonshu's, trying to split them up. Meteor as well with the Kumio. So many ultimates coming out of Swinburne just to secure themselves around this corner. But Boundary into Soul Resurgence is making this hard for Swinburne to clear out. Psionic Seduction to try and pull them back on top of Golem. Yo, there's the Endsong Inferno, and there's Moxicle securing a double.
Yeah, great to see there, Tony, and more will follow up. You know, they've still got the dance floor available if they need it. They should be able to push past in a second here as Monash are getting absolutely blown away onto this one, Tony. There you go. We'll see the capture point locked in and more space going to be cleared out by Swinburne. Happy days all round there as their power continues to shine through. And Tony, if you haven't seen the Daxu Luna, you haven't been looking in the right places. You'll see it eventually.
Clearly. I don't know ball like that, apparently. But I seem to know that Swinburne are looking good. This attack side is pretty flawless. That Moon Knight and Luna combo just up in the face of Monash. And what do you do to answer it, right? You can't really commit all too many members because you're also trying to hold the front line. You're also trying to hold that mission vehicle. So, yeah, Moxicles and Sparta in the minds of Monash right now as the rest of them really take up this positional advantage. Delta and Sky just holding down that front line. Golomio as well, happy to help out. Here we go. Now less of a flank opportunity, but Moxicles has found a sight line that I don't think Monash are expecting so much damage coming out, and then the fate of both worlds. Meteor going to be coming out from Cosmo, though. Was good at shutting down that fate in the last one on domination, but not this time. The Meteor will miss.
And it will be cancelled out there. No Agamotto this time. We are going to see the Psionic Seduction shielded out pretty effectively, but they're all going to be caught in the rays. The God Shoes, the perfect complement, Tony. Oh, yes. They will be able to bless the KO feed with more and more. And we are going to OT, Tony. Swinburne have so much time to their name as well. Oh my goodness. A full 3 minutes and 10 more than Monash here. This is insanity.
Yeah, this is absolute chaos for the likes of Swinburne. 4 whole minutes to Monash's 106. Monash is going to have to really lock in here. You can see potential for a change-up. We might see Jam now Ultron. We might see the Punisher come out here just to deal with that front line. The likes of Swinburne, they're not going to change anything. Instant lock to the characters that just got them such a strong push. Now they'll play defensively. We'll see. Only a minute for Monash to work with for the likes of Swinburne. They only have to hold for a minute. That's like 2 fights.
30 seconds before you attack. Get
My
ready.
goodness. Could be more than that if they play their cards right, Tony. See if there is going to be a absolutely terrifying OT timer on its way sooner rather than later. But for now, we stare down the guitar. Oh, and it gets blown up. I see. Sparta Bang hates music.
Yep.
How are they playing alongside us Lunar Snow when they'd be doing that, Tony? I can't believe this.
It's messed up. Sparta Bang just Debbie Downer, it would seem. Doesn't like music. He's locked in, and he wants this dub to Swinburne's board to take us to a third. Monash, though, they're going to have to keep their eyes on the prize. They're going to have to stay focused in this one. Using that around the corner angle, but Sky will be able to find one onto the Ultron. And that shuts it down now. 30 seconds for Monash. And quick KO to Swinburne's board. They're in a pretty healthy state. Sparta Bank up on that high ground with Moxicles. They'll try and charm the Strange off of that. Now Strange is out of line of sight of the Strategist, taking a ton of damage there. Has to fall all the way back.
All the way back and try to lock it in here, Tony. Delta be holding on to this one. Big shots over the top there. Not going to be able to lock down much more. Jam goes down, though. Ultron no more into the diamond form. Not going to be able to get the Carbon Crush. Still just trying to see if they can brawl their way through it. Gel Mahua does go down, so good KO from Golomio there. Trying their best to get more where that came from. There's no ult on line on either side now, so it's going to be neutral KOs or nothing. Lunafra, however, would be the answer they need here. Doing the best that they can. They're sticking back into this one, Tony. And surely they can get something through, but no, Lunafra has gone down. Monash are trying to build back up. The fire is burning bright, and it will get the ignited KO feed. Triple down with one more to follow, Tony. Swinburne need to fall back now.
They need to walk back. Strange was being thought about, but Delta will actually opt to swap to it. Was thinking about keeping that Psionic Seduction in play, but the portal's more important. Stop this from going the way of Monash. This guy, he does have that Meteor. Golem as well. Kumiho. An invisible boundary from Lunafront to start it off. Out of the portal, they'll come. Meteor as well from Cosmo, and it will sink on a Moxicles and Lunafra. Cosmo with a double dunk. Kumio unleashed at least to make this fight still doable for Swinburne. Damage boost coming through, but Spider-Bang with the Konshu pushing them off of the mission vehicle, but they'll keep going. It's Aya Agamotto. It's double there from Jalmahu, and it will be everybody falling. Overtime, a slither of a fraction. Monash, keep it going.
Keep it going all the way through to that first capture point, Tony. Oh, yeah. We are going places on this one. Monash, at long last, to find their footing here, and they have no signs of stopping. But you know what is going to be stopping them? Spider-Bang on that Punisher. As soon as they build up towards the final judgment, it could be all over and out within a flash. Speaking of, Delta on Strange does have the Agamotto at the ready, may be able to exceed the Strategist's ultimates ahead of them here. They're trying their best to contest on this one. There it is. Soul Resurgence coming up. Agamotto baiting it out there. Dance floor as well, but they just can't burn through it, Tony.
No.
But the C9! They got off the mission vehicle! No!
Not again, not again. C9, or as we like to call it sometimes in the Asia region, the reject, they did the same wonder that so many teams do. They walk off the mission vehicle, and Matt, they only get that one cap. Swinburne, now they have 4 whole minutes to push. So much time, we won't see that OT clock for so long. And Spider-Bang, you know him for the Hella, but you can also know him for the Punisher. They're keeping the rest of the things the same. And for Monash, they just ran out of resources there towards the end.
Yeah, need to build up towards a fair few more, let's say. Just unfortunate that they weren't able to stick onto the mission vehicle there. So, it'll be a bit of an unfortunate time, but at least they still have a chance to fight it back here, albeit it will be a long battle of endurance ahead of them, that is for certain. As we do have 4 minutes and 10 seconds for Swinburne to push this one as far as they can and potentially take the victory here. All are going to go down from this, everybody, and I'm so ready to get out the gates here. Focus from Swinburne, probably going to have to be on Bubako there, and we'll see if they can manage to take him out early. Maybe calm the defenses before they activate.
They're going to have to calm their nerves, right? Swinburne, oh my word, Spider-Bang immediately on a jam, but traded, and the BRB. So Monash come out of that engagement on the better end of things. They will as well find Golem. Moxicles trying to, again, make this DPS Luna work. He is going to be doing a ton of damage. Explosion there from the Phoenix. Monash, they stabilize here around this corner, but Sky Delta still putting in that work, still pushing that mission vehicle forward. Spider-Bang now taking up the space that Moxicles just lost.
Yeah, they're looking to pick up the front lines there. You know, they can't afford to concede space. They need to claw at it and take it away. And Sky will succeed. Yukara goes down there, so great start for them. They can follow that up and look to further it. Forcing out the boundary onto this one. They're desperate to hold on to this. And they will be able to bring back Cosmo at least with the BRB there. But I mean, one of the same. And now there's a boundary they have to worry about. As Swinburne are committing to this one to get as much space as possible. And they may yet find it. They're getting KO after KO here. Everyone's getting into these isolated lines of sight. And it's only working out so well for Swinburne here. Forcing Monash so far back. Swinburne might just have that first capture point here basically for free.
Yeah, uncontested. They won't get any extra time, so only 2 minutes 30. But more than enough to do it. They only have to push 75 meters. The Phoenix to start it off once again on the Spider-Bang. That's the player they want to shut down. Spider-Bang's been having a lot of impact in some of these isolated engagements. And shutting down Spider-Bang, pretty good. Swinburne, though, they're still healthy at 5. Meteors are on a line here. for both sides. And Delta, Cosmo, it probably comes down to who lands that dunk.
Who lands the dunk? Who has the power behind them? The Meteor M comes out from Cosmo, and they will find another strategist here. So many dunks have coming through onto this one, Tony. Sky's trying to match it. Will not be able to succeed, but Golemio still on track with the Kumio Unleashed. Moxicles brings out the dance floor as well. Trying their best to spell trouble for Monash. They will match with the Soul Resurgence. They've got a boundary of their own here if required. Oh, what a freeze from Moxicles!
What a freeze. It shuts down Agamotto back to 60%. That ultimate will be in. Boundary comes out from Monash. Now looking to put the pain on still, because time is of the essence for Swinburne. They're running out that clock. And we'll see Monash still hold around this back quarter. Invis, such good in holding down these choke lines of sight, but we'll see Goddess of Death online here for Spider-Man. We'll look to try and drop on down. Delta will take out the Phoenix. They'll find these isolated fights in the back line. They'll force the strategist forward. They'll pull them into their demise. Matt Moxicles finds it, and it will be Swinburne taking us to a third.
Oh my goodness, we run it down in the OT, Tony, and we break into map 3. Swinburne managed to bring it all the way to 3. I cannot believe what we're witnessing here. And a big shout out to Spider-Bang on the MVP there as well. After that last play, certainly well deserved. You know, they put priority over the Goddess of Death straight towards the mission vehicle. They didn't just go straight for strategists there. And it managed to work out wonderfully for them.
40 elims for Spider-Bang, 23 final hits. Was matched, though, by the Phoenix on the other side with 19 and 37 elims. Matt, what a game. Triple strategist from both sides, though. When it comes out, you have to have your part in it. Triple strategist hard to beat.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult wall to climb there, Tony, isn't it? And it looks like we have our third and final map of this series. It's going to be none other than it's going to be none other than Central Park ahead of us, everybody. Get excited for Convergence. You love to see a bit of Central Park, don't you? And I'm kind of terrified of this map.
Yeah.
Tony, because we've seen what this map has trended in a lot of regions lately. And I hope it doesn't happen here. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, we don't. Let's not speak it into existence just yet. Just maybe wait until what we see out of these teams. And of course, going to be same kind of picks and locks here. Actually, Swinburne opting to keep the Cloak and Dagger. They'll get that one saved. Took away the Loki and the Gambit, so no copy of the Raging Royal Flush, or well, no potential for the Raging Royal Flush at all here for either side. Made just lock here for Monash. Don't mind that one with how they've been playing it with the Phoenix. Feels like a pretty comfortable territory for them.
Yeah, it feels pretty good, doesn't it? And let's see if they are going to be able to do more with it, as they will be. Bringing at you the Daredevil band there. Loki band's matched. Groot taken away from Swinburne. Could come to hurt them, I can't lie. But I think they're going to be alright for now. Next protect, though, will be Mag. I like this.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
Mag's a great solution, especially when they have their own Cloak and Dagger here. They can get the bubble through. One, they pop the Eternal Bond there, and so they won't just get absolutely blown up by Cosmo's Magneto again and again, because we've seen that Cosmo has been real consistent with those dunks, Tony.
Yeah, very consistent with the dunks. I was going to say, do we see a target ban from Hella? Rightfully so here. Spider-Bang won't get to play that one this time around. Deserved MVP on that last one on Midtown. For Monash, what do we see final lock in here? Potentially, probably keep the Invis or the Strange. Definitely might be the Invis. Don't think Strange will be banned from Swinburne unless they throw a curveball here. They're probably not thinking about that. One-sided Cloak and Dagger to go for the final one here on Central Park. Matten, not a bad one, you know. Monash, I don't think we've seen Cloak and Dagger from them, but I guess for Swinburne, they don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah, they don't really want to have to deal with it at all, do they, Tone? You know, want to try and own their strengths, I suppose. Give it their all, but gonna have to rise to the occasion. So we will be locked in to our picks right now. Spider-Bang hovering over the Moon Knight again. Can't play into the group again here. But I mean, all things considered, last map showcased it well, where even without the group, they were fine. They played into it pretty darn well, Tony. And I mean, that Psionic Seduction, if they can get it off properly, they can still get some good setups with the hand of Khonshu there.
Khonshu would be good. We saw what Spider-Bang's capable of in that last one as well. Look, you know, he got the MVP on the Hella, but it felt like the Moon Knight was probably where he got most of those eliminations. So, well played from Spider-Bang on the Moon Knight. And it's pretty good at holding, especially with how choke-heavy this first point can be. Try and take Monash. Or, of course, they'll get their Mantis Phoenix once again. Of course, they're going to be bringing out the Luna too. They saw the value of it out of Swinburne. And Swinburne not opting to bring that Luna this time around.
Nah, not this time, mate. Looking to steer clear of that one. Maybe get more in a second. But, taking to the skies. Kakara going to be taken out of play for now. Just looking to maintain their distance. See if they can shut down some of the strategists that will line up for Swinburne here. It's going to be difficult as they're doing a great job to keep each other sustained through all endeavors ahead of them. Skyed, though, doing their best to try and slide past them. Shots could be good on this one. Spider-Bang, I like how they play the tight angles here as well. They don't concede too much, but they play for safety. Monash just not able to throw the right kind of jab here, and there you go. It's going to be Kakara taken out early, Tony. So a decent beginning from Swinburne.
Taking out Kakara, one of the primary damage dealers here from Monash. That shuts down their push a little bit. Time starts to stall. 2 minutes 40 here, and again, those arms out. Spider-Bang with just the ability to play up on the height. Nobody's really contesting him for that position right now, but once that wall breaks away, Spider-Bang's a little bit more in the open. Let's have the Khonshu to play with as well. You're going to want to hold those ultimates for as long as possible, especially being on the defense side. You want to have as much utility at your disposal.
Yeah, bring as much to the table as you possibly can, right, Tone? And you to see what they can do as Swinburne almost have a full kit of ults onto this one. Speaking of, Soul Resurgence going to be popped first. I love the delayed match on the boundary there. They get their own boundary out, and there's going to be Khonshu over the top into the meteor. Boom! Skyed! Getting that one up high and takes them down low. Enjoyed the show there, Tony. Eternal Bond came out from Lunafra as well. Don't know if that one was needed, I can't lie. But at least they don't commit all ults there.
Yeah, that feels like a little bit of an error, especially Monash have a minute 40 still to play with, and you know, they got it done with the meteor and the Khonshu. Of course, boundary delayed by Moxicles, as you said, was pretty effective there, just holding that time. Portal's going to come from the backside up on the high ground here. Monash are trying to get a little bit of a flank coming. Spider-Bang's in a pretty good position to dish out a ton of damage as they come out of the portal here. We're going to be seeing Psionic Seduction, Meteor return from Cosmo. Everybody trying to bunker down in this bottom right room, and they will be able to stay healthy for the moment. With Kumiho will be unleashed probably from Golmio in just a second here, but Ensong Inferno might shut it down. Kumiho no longer. It's Phoenix time. Ensong Inferno will hit, and Sky's taken. Everybody's gone here from Swinburne. They won't be able to get back. I don't think they have time to portal.
Yeah, not going to have much time at all there, Tone, are they? 46 seconds in a dream. Spider-Bang goes down here. Swinburne in deep trouble. Oh, they will, but they get stopped at the gates there. Just going absolute Vanguard mode on that one. Forced to teleport through to the new spawn room. Monash. That was huge. That was tough, Tony.
That was super tough, just blocking there. Golmio got out. He was able to touch for a second there with the Kumio, stalled a little bit. But eventually, you know, you can only really do so much with that Kumio without the rest of your team available. The Monash, they blocked that portal perfectly. And again, the damage is still following through the Phoenix combination here with the help of the Strange and Invis team up. This is so worrying now for Swinburne to deal with. They're having to fall back. Spider-Bang can't really play an effective angle here. Swinburne are running out of lines of sight.
Yeah, running out of the lines of sight at great haste here. Moxicles will be able to bring up the boundary, so at least they can hold back for a second here. Try and keep their team online despite losing Delta. They do get the delayed trade, and maybe more. King in a bit of trouble there. Jam is building up to the resurgence, so it might be A-OK. They are just going to have to hold up firmly onto this one. Don't overcook it. As we've seen time and time again. There we go. Soul Resurgence, though, going to be brought up top onto this one. Maybe looking for more around the corner. Not going to happen today, though. Eternal Bond comes out at the right moment. Immediate Meteor pop there, and they will drop it!
Oh.
And Song over the top as well, just for good measure. Sky bringing out their own Meteor. My goodness. I don't know about that one, Tone, but alas, they give it a try.
Oh.
And Spider-Bang is the one to redeem it! A quad KO out of nowhere!
The Khonshu goes big, and now Moxicles Golem, they're on the mission vehicle to stall. It's supportal combat here. Strategists do it better than the duelists sometimes, Matt. And the Swinburne, they're able to hold it down. Spider-Bang coming up clutch once again with the Moon Knight. Well-deserved MVP might be coming his way. A minute left here for Monash. And they only have Eye of Agamotto available. They're going to portal out here to take on towards an off angle that Swinburne aren't expected. But this time they are seeing it and they are looking for it. Cosmo, though, will find Spider-Bang. So that's a ton of damage dealing potential now gone from Swinburne.
Now gone, and now over the top here, Tony. They're going to have Agamotto to deal with. A boundary coming out in response there. Xiaomakwa trying their best to play into it, but he's going to be forced out of position there. Luckily, we'll be able to sustain through. Here we go, Sonic Seduction into the Kumio Unleashed there. Somehow, Kara gets away from that one. I'm in disbelief over that, but maybe not for long. Cosmo's gone, traded out onto Spider-Bang there. Maybe more to follow. There you go, not going to wallow in it. The time is now, and Swinburne will step up to the plate. Seconds remain here, Tony. The boundary in contest. I thought they might break through it if they keep up like this.
Yeah, they might break through. Ying's online is going to be pushed and prodded every single direction. Spider-Bang stops Jam from walking, but the Venom is in from Cosmo. And the bonus shield keeping them up there for the moment, but pushed off once again and finally will be shut down. Monash tries they might to touch, and it will be only 110 meters. Swinburne well placed on their defense. And again, so many portals here from Monash coming out on those flank angles. Just the clutch from Spider-Bang set that hold in motion. And now for Swinburne, eyes on the prize, 4 minutes to play with. And for Monash, do they tinker with the composition here a little bit?
Surely, there has to be some kind of a change-up, right? Surely. I think they would be able to put something into the mix here. They're thinking about the Groot. It could work. It really could, but I don't know, Tony. It's going to be a difficult one ahead of us, that is for certain. As now our teams look to get the preparations laid once again. Spider-Bang good onto the Punisher here. That final judgment going to come in clutch, especially having the Magneto there to put the bubble on you. When you pop ult, that's going to be really, really good for the Swinburne side there. So Monash Maniacs really going to have to make sure they focus that player down as soon as possible, because if left unchecked, it could be checked out of the map real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Swinburne are going to have to be checked in. Monash, it's interesting, still keeping with that triple strategist lineup. Not even opting to throw like a Penny or a Groot in the mix, but of course Groot was taken out. Good ban. Effective one at shutting down the potential for a hold, and shutting down the potential for what we've seen on Central Park is a little bit of a nightmare to deal with. If you're especially a TO, this map is a nightmare for them as well. Swinburne taking a ton of chip damage early on though. Monash controlling that high ground pretty effectively. We'll finally look towards it for Swinburne's sake. fully charged up Delta, though, could come in with a ton of damage. As soon as they're able to get themselves in a healthy state here in the neutral, they will walk it up there, and they will force a few members into a little bit of a precarious predicament here, Matt.
Yeah, going to be in a bit of trouble onto this one, Tone, but yeah, I'm going to be jumping in and fighting Ying in the early KO zone there. Spider-Man, there we go. Immediate pop onto the final judgment. They're trying to burn through this one, and they will trade boundary for boundary onto this. Spider-Man doesn't know where to look right now. Now they have a clear area of focus. That's the Vanguard line. That's the whole darn back line, Tony. And they will not find much of a response back there. Xiao Mahua doing the very best they can to just hold the line here, but it just ain't working.
Yeah, onto the back line, trying to deal with the strategist just like Spider-Man did there. Deal with that back line, they will, though. Sky will be able to find Jam Kumio for Kumio. They're trading both of these White Fox ultimates. Meteors being held by Sky, looking for the Duncan. Will find Ying as they come out of the Kumio, so perfectly timed from Sky. Phoenix, Ensong, Inferno, faded both wells. Dance floor. The Ensong doesn't hit its mark, not what we're used to seeing. Spider-Bang now in a little bit of a rough spot, might need to fall back. They do have eyes on the Luna, though. They're also trying to deal with the mag at the same time because the Meteor comes in from Cosmo. It will find the dunk on it. Sparta. They're trading 1-on-1 apiece here, delaying the time. Monash are still able to contest.
Still able to contest and press it as far as they can. They've captured a couple of members there and maybe more to follow. Oh, they isolate them with the shield there. That's actually really big. Cut off the healing. And there it is. Diamond form into the Carbon Crush. They're doing everything they can to shut down this is a Luna. And it's working out for them. Delta pulls out the Shredder. They're just better, Tony. And they will claim the mission area.
Taking flight, Delta doing work there. Swinburne now 3 minutes 50 to push 110 meters. And Monash, they don't have a lot of ultimates that could really shape and warp this fight. Final Judgment's back up. We do have Eternal Bond and the Invisible Boundary. Matt Swinburne, they've got a ton of utility. Spider-Bang's already found the Phoenix.
Ooh, trained onto the angle there. Look at the strangle through more where that came from. Eager to see if they can match it. Boundary coming up. Oh no, it's Spider-Man on deck again. The damage popping over the top here. Big Carbon Crush. They aren't able to take advantage, but the strategists are being focused. Akamoto shuts down as well. Spider-Man making a big impact in a big way. Phoenix remaining unchecked for now though. Spider-Man diverts attention. And they might be able to retain more. There you go. Cosmo down, floored out of it. Meteor over the top, flop it in. And there it is, Tony. Swinburne, get it done.
Swinburne able to come to life here. They roar to a reverse sweep. And they will be taking home Central Park. Matt, what a game it was. Moxicles with a huge MVP performance, but you could have gave it to everyone. Swinburne, they got it done as a 6-man, able to really put their thinking caps on. Spider-Bang with some beautiful judgments. Boundary timings for Moxicles were huge. Eternal Bonds out of Lunafra. And as well, the Vanguard's Delta. Sky, they played phenomenal. Golemyo as well, some stalls with the Kumio. Swinburne, what a ace series it was from them.
Yeah, really impressed with how they managed to string it together. They found their recipe, Tony, and it blessed them with success. You know, you think of the power that a lot of Punisher players can use on a map like Central Park. You know, you think of other players for other universities as well. You know, I think of one in particular, Tashi, been able to do some great work on that one. And it goes to show, like, Punisher can actually make things happen, can clear a lot of space for your team, and Spider-Bang put on a great showcase of that. So very impressed with what they did, and more impressive plays to come as well as second, because we have another series, Tony. Let's take a look at it right now. It's going to be none other than Adelaide Uni taking on Macquarie Onyx.
This is going to be an exciting one. We've seen Adelaide Uni play pretty well. Macquarie, of course, checking out the rosters for you. Adelaide Uni, it's Mr. Sampton, Munchduck, Oblivious, Destroyer, Alice, and Beast S2. SOTY. For the side of Macquarie Onyx, it's Tashi, as you mentioned just before. Tool, Squashy, Accelerate, Clove, and Nascent. Matt, looking at these rosters, right, and looking at the names, definitely one of these rosters strikes fear into my heart just looking at this one.
Yes, I think it's going to be terrifying, honestly. I'm kind of scared. But you know what? We're going to jump in into the drafts right now, and it's going to be an instantaneous protect on to the Daredevil. Star-Lord may be getting banned out here. Is this a targeted ban, Tony?
That has
Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, that has to be targeted. Tashi plays a lot of Star-Lord, but I don't imagine he's going to be playing Star-Lord with the immediate Daredevil lock-in that's happened. Invis, rightfully so, going to be locked in. I respect that one out of Adelaide Uni. They're going to need that.
Yeah, they're going to need that and more on their way here, as we will get the Mantis banned through there, and the Protect on Invis are going to be trading it out with the White Fox ban, maybe. They're pondering on it. You can see Macquarie, they got their thinking caps on, Tone.
Yeah, doing a lot of study into what they want to shut down Phoenix away from likes Macquarie, but they'll take away Loki Mantis. And for the likes of Adelaide Uni, the question is, do they take away Loki Mantis as well? They only have one ban left, so we're going to have to see a very crucial lock-in. Maybe the Strange, I imagine, with the Invis that they've got. No, Cloak and Dagger. Not a bad one. Pretty good at shutting down a lot of that dive potential. For Macquarie, they'll ban the Phoenix away as well. This could be them also just taking Loki Mantis.
Honestly, it could be. Like, they're pretty set. I think that they can certainly take control of it. Hasn't been banned away from them at all yet. They will be able to lock in the Invis there, so yeah, very possible. Albeit Adelaide do have the Cloak and Dagger there. Oh boy. Yep, there it is. Groot going to be banned out, so you are so right, Tony. Loki Mantis is available. Elsa's available. Daredevil's available. They've got a lot of... Oh, no. Oh, I'm terrified.
Oh.
Squashy's hovering over the Venom as well there, so, yeah, so they've got the team up between the Jeff and the Venom, if they lock it, the Strange and the Invis, and, yeah, oh, my goodness. I'm worried.
I also see the Accelerate Elsa. I believe he was talking that one up. I believe I popped into his stream at one time and he was talking about his Elsa. So, yeah, a lot of high priority picks for Macquarie. We will see Nascently and Clove on the Invis Jeff. So, a pretty good combo. But on the other side of things, Adelaide Uni, not a bad combination for them. We do see Bucky Groot. We'll see Strange Invis. So, some powerful team-ups and powerful combinations here could look to maybe catch Macquarie by surprise here, but we've seen what they're capable of, right? Squashy Venom, we'll see pretty heavy dive, and then the Strange kind of just keeping everybody safe in the backline.
Yeah, they can keep them well sustained, and you're going to see more and more how things go. As we get into the flow of things here, Squashy almost wanted to go straight for the dive in, but it's going to be Tool scouting ahead here for their team. They know exactly where the enemies are, and they are going to flank right behind them. And here we go, Tony. We're already prepared for battle.
Yeah, it's a spawn fight here. Tool with a aggressive portal. Macquarie know how they want to play this one. They want to take the fight to Adelaide Uni early. For the moment, Adelaide Uni will be posturing themselves on the point. Sitting in a pretty comfortable spot. Alice onto the Moon Knight. It's a pretty good one, especially going with the Groot. And we'll see Mr. Sam to shut down Tashi. The rest of Macquarie, though, come to activate here just when you take out one of the star players. The rest of them are star players in their own regard. Accelerate, finding Oblivious, and Adelaide Uni will get clean swept by Macquarie for the first percentage.
Yeah, going to be a solid way to take a stance over the mission area here, and there's probably going to be more where that came from, Tony, but Adelaide Uni, they're looking to see if they can take a stand of their own here. They've got the Groot Knight on deck here, and I think there's definitely a way for them to command respect into this one. I like how Nascently is playing the Jeff up close and personal as well. It's enabled Tashi to do one and the same, take aim and play into the fight. And they will be able to lock in many a KO alongside their team there. So heavy focus does enable them to take a deep control.
Yeah, look how far forward they're playing. This is Macquarie flexing their muscle right now. Adelaide Uni, though, will start to charge some ultimates and could look to walk it up. But Macquarie, they do have Agamotto. They will as well have the Apex Predator for Accelerate. So this could be a good combination. You lead with Agamotto and then you send them all to the bidding of the Glaptrox. It will be the Glaptrox coming out for Accelerate. It will be a quad. Accelerate looking for the Pensetsu. Perfectly timed there. Didn't even need the Agamotto, Matt. That's Accelerate aura for you.
That's it. Accelerate on deck here. We'll be able to make it happen. So huge stuff coming at you from Accelerate there. Certainly knows how to get around the Elsa. Very eager to see more big players on their way as well. The boundary now coming up from Clove here. Looking to get more. Turn a bond over the top though from Beast. They will be able to try and clear some space for their team onto this one. Playing from a distance, it's going to be the Australian League Prison up front there, trying to relegate them with the walls. 2-5-1, cracking impact over the top as well. Squashy in trouble, needs to evacuate quick. It's Jeff coming out from Nascently. Oh, this could be a big catch. Playing around the cloak there. Uh-oh. Here we go, Tony. There we go. We've caught the cloak, and they are going to be taking a trip off the map in a second, perhaps. But it's going to be Macquarie locking in more where that came from.
Yeah, that was interesting timing, waiting for the fade there. I have to prop the Nascently there. That was hugely impactful. It's Jeff coming through, and now they'll chase onto the cloak and Daka. No chance. You get away with the Elsa and DD on your line there, and Frozen Airfield in quick succession from Macquarie. We now go to the Eltrich Monument. For Adelaide Uni, what do they change up here? I still don't mind the group Bucky. We will see the Elsa though, because Elsa's available. You gotta play it. It just feels such like a strong character.
Such a strong character, and ready to see what else they can showcase with the full extent of their strengths as well, Tone. As we will be jumping on into this one all over again. Preparations are going to be laid in place here. And I'm ready to see if they can clear some space, you know. Tashi, all eyes on deck here, you know. I think they mustn't succumb to the pressure. You know, they got the supporters' eyes on them, Tony. They've got to lock in here.
Yeah, they really got to lock in against the team like Macquarie. Can't afford to give them any chances. They'll punish. We'll see a different kind of approach here. It's going to be Tashi taking up on the high ground. Squashy, of course, could look to complement that with the Venom too. So they're going to be playing together, right? 3-2-1 combination from the DD, and Venom is hard to deal with. They do have Feast of the Abyss. They'll pop it immediately. 3-2-1 on top of the entire backline. Accelerate. Kites 2 over to his bidding. And looking for the Magneto too. Almost getting the environmental KO. Mag forced to hover there for just a little bit. Nascently happy to help out. And Macquarie will take up that initial fight. They'll take up some initial space, and just liking how free-flowing they are at the moment, Matt.
Yeah, just continues to flow through there and seems to have no signs of stopping. So Macquarie going to be A-OK, continuing to vow for more control of the space here. See if they can push on for an even deeper run. Agamotto over the top, though, will lock him in. Duel good for 3. Tashi doubles down, and Squashy takes the last. So that's a team wipe, everybody. Macquarie getting it done all over again.
I love that from Tool, I really do. Just showing in the face of Adelaide Uni and not allowing them to take up any space or surmount themselves any more control. The game belongs to Macquarie for the moment, but Ultimate starting to build here for Adelaide Uni. They also will win out the neutral. Alice will take out Accelerate. U1 as well. It's Alice for another onto the Cloven Dagger. There will be Mr. Samter popping that cracking impact, but Tashi's a slippery guy to deal with. Maneuvering well. Mr. Samter's lost track of him. Walk to come out here trying to find it. Daredevil is a slippery guy, and Tashi one better. Alice will be able to trade percentage here for Adelaide Uni at least.
Yeah, we'll be able to trade it for the time being. So good they have, at long last, been able to blast their way in time. Keen to see what Mr. Samta and co can do. Know that they're serious. You know they're about to get down to business. Let's see if they can make it work. Big damage over the top. Tool in a bit of trouble. They might actually do something with this beast, though. He's out the Eternal Bond. Going to be matched there. Squashy goes down. Accelerate good with the Apex Predator there. But unfortunately, the angle not quite right. Alice to be able to string something together. Accelerate at least manages to respond back. But I mean, it could all be down to Accelerate in a second. There you go. Goes down to Mr. Samta. Huge work for them to keep that control.
Mr. Samter not even needing the Kraken Impact to secure a control of the point for Adelaide Uni. And they do have a few ultimates now starting to build. Invisible Boundary. Psychic Seduction, but from Macquarie. Beast of the Abyss into the Devil, letting out from Tashi. This could be a combo that could shut this one down completely. In goes Squashy for the dive. In goes Clove and Tagger to take out the Emma, and there is Feast of the Abyss on top of the Devil letting out, but it is going to be the Swallow up there from Nascently, picking up 3 members here of the opposing side. Can't get them off into an environmental KO. Will just force them over towards the right-hand side into the lying weights of Squashy and Tashi.
They're going to be trying their best to force their way forward, Tony. Eager to see what else they are going to be able to do here. So take it easy, take it slow and steady. Just try and hold the space here. Tool's the only one with ults on the Macquarie side for now as well. Akamoto up front. There you go. Trying their best to clear the space. Oh, won't be able to succeed. We'll find Oblivious at least. But might not be able to find more than that. Mr. Santa. Big damage over the top there. But in the meanwhile, their team has been pushed away. And Macquarie saved the day. That is going to be the map taken. 2 capture points to none. And what a confident start to this one.
Yeah, confident start from Macquarie. I have to give credit to Adelaide Uni there. They did find some success there in that second point. But MVP to Tool writes so many Agamotors that just hit their mark. It didn't really matter that the Maelstrom didn't do enough if there was a follow-up Maelstrom. The Agamotors were perfect there from Tool. And Macquarie, just overall a confident game from them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there, Tone. Really confident game, and I feel like that confidence is just shining so brightly like a star into this one. You know, really impressed with how they were able to hold it together, showcasing a bit of confidence for Accelerate there, and Tashi wanting the same, but Tool, you know, the man of the hour on to that one. Doing huge work on that Doctor Strange. I mean, playing into their team-ups there, playing into their confidence, and just doing a lot of work. Really impressed with how they've been able to hold it down. You know, that Vanguard, there's a reason. You got to remember the name that is Stephen Strange.
Stephen Strange, of course. We'll go to our second one. It's Yggdrasil, Path, Matt, and yeah, you know, it's like we look at this roster on paper, you know, you've got a lot of star-studded names. Tashi, Accelerate, Squashy, all with a wealth of competitive experience, a wealth of, you know, crack at that top level. But you're a guy that's kind of filling in that Vanguard role. You have to stand out, and Tool definitely stood out in that last game. As we check out the picks and bans here, Daredevil is going to be the first ban this time.
Yeah, and I definitely can see that one coming through there, Tone, and there's going to be more where that came from, because Loki's gone and Venom, they don't like Squashy, apparently. Adelaide are, yes, they don't want to deal with Squashy's Venom. I can understand it, but it does allow Macquarie to get the Elsa locked in. Mag could be locked down for Adelaide here, so they maybe think that's the solution. But again, like, it enables Macquarie to just take away more and more from them. Like, they at least can keep the Invis, but they won't be able to play Phoenix now to burn through things with, like, the end song, or even in the neutral, it's done there. So it's going to be the battle of the Invises into this one, Tone.
Yeah, battle of Invis. Clove and Dagger played a pretty good one last one there on domination. But Invis, Mag save for Adelaide Uni. Elsa, Invis save here more for Macquarie. And a wealth of picks potentially potentially to come through here from Macquarie. Tool could look to maybe bring that cap out. He is currently hovering it. Squashy going to be on the Strange. They bring the Invis Strange team up. Duelist pull for Tashi. I feel like that's bait. That's got to be bait.
I think it could maybe be real, Tony.
You could be real. You think Tashi's been in the lab cracking that one up?
Yeah, I think Tashi's got some creative plays in store for us on the dual pool. And I'm ready to see it, Tony. You know,
I have to see it walk out of
see
spawn
right now.
I want to see it walk out of spawn before I believe it. I'm not getting baited
Hey,
in
they got
again.
the team up already, Tone. Toy
They
box
do.
is out, mate. They got all 3 pieces.
That is true.
You better believe it, Tony. You better believe we are going to see that. You know, I want to see the pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
I want to see the skill issue. I'm ready.
Yeah, skill issue and pop quiz. You know, normally don't get to see dual pull ultimates being used here. Adelaide Uni, Namor Hella with the Groot is a pretty sizable comp to hold here. Yeah, all right,
Real,
Tashi.
Tony?
It's real. Tashi's walked out of spawn with it, so I'm lost for words, Matt.
You can eat them.
Yeah.
As we will be jumping in to the fight now, and Alice, great start with the squids there. Tashi gonna have to lock in on this one, already building up a ton of ult percentage there, so certainly can lock in on one of the ult variants. There is which one they might activate, to be honest, but we'll see what they can do, because Squashy's already been taken out of the fray here. Accelerate, good to play into it as well. They're pretty close to the Apex Predator there. Could play in combination with Tashi, to be honest. They just keep their distance and play their patience right, but for now, just trying to get into the groove of things. Speaking of isolating the angles, slowly creeping up. There's the Apex Predator. Oh, it's big, big, big damage.
Oh.
And that's a way to wipe out the defense.
Yeah, Accelerate just farming aura on this Elsa. Reminiscent of our teammate of Tashi's. You know, we love to talk about pars here sometimes. And sometimes Elsa runs the game 1v9, 1v11. It feels like. But yeah, Accelerate's taking his claim as one of the better Elsa players here in the university competition. Portal comes through and it's blocked. Frost out there, Snowball immediately. And this is where Tashi thrives, when everybody's on top of one another, where the chaos is happening. It's Tashi getting a quick elimination there. Will be Agamotto coming out. Will be nascently taking out Alice there. So quick KO's coming to Macquarie's board.
Yeah, coming up in quick succession there. Maybe more to follow as they will catch a munch there. Oblivious going down. A good way to open the account here. Tashi wanting the same. Taking aim at it. And looking to push their way past that first capture point as quick as they can. A UN Destroyer there will be destroyed. And there it is. Mission vehicle deployed. And it continues to push on ahead. So, very confident game continuing to shine for the Macquarie side here. They're ready to dive as well.
They're ready to dive. We'll just kind of poke around that left side. Squashy going to be holding up that Seraphim shield. He's going to pull a few members back there. You have to be cautious. Can't be pulled around the corner because you might meet a fatal end. It is going to be Freedom Charge for Tool. He's just poking around. He's doing a little bit of work here, just making this strategist's life difficult here for Munchduck. Oh, we got us some death return from Oblivious. Traded 1 for 1. Ewan able to find the Clove and Dagger Invis. Macquarie, they're actually sent packing for the moment, but Tool's still fighting for it.
Yeah, still fighting, still trying their best. They will be falling back onto this one. So giving themselves a little bit of time to prime up. Mr. Samta, I love the focus here. Accelerate will slip away, but you know that Mr. Samta's doing whatever they can to just gain some kind of advantage into this one for their team. They're building up a few ults, but speaking of, Glytrox comes out there. Big damage over the top. They're not going to follow it up. Squashy, though. Agamotto time.
Oh.
Primes around the back. The dance floor going to be able to keep them up. Maelstrom over the top. Tashi goes down. Going to be a good start. A meteor from Mr. Samta. Boom!
Oh.
Catches nascently. This is the comeback that Macquarie do not want to see. Adelaide on top, but the boundary keeps Macquarie in space.
It keeps them trailing forward, but finally shut down by Adelaide Uni. Tool to follow suit. Too great antsy there as well from Alice. And now Macquarie, they're going to have to rethink their decisions. 2 minutes 30. Eleanor Moore, hard to deal with if you're not going for a crazy aggressive dive style that Macquarie opted for in that last one. No Venom or Daredevil available. He will have to try and make something work with this Cap, who could look to bounce on in. And as well, Tashi over to the right-hand side. Going together as a duo, that's how you want to play it, especially with how dive-centric Cap can be, and that will be Oblivious taken out early.
Taken out early, and maybe more to follow here, forcing out the boundary. This is good pressure from Macquarie into this one. They might even be able to do more. UN Destroyer does still have the Strangling Prison, though. Here we go. We are going to see Large Rocks coming out. Big damage over the top. Not going to be able to get the KO, though. It is forcing out the Strangling Prison. It gets absolutely nothing. And Tashi doing big work onto this one. Will get frozen midway, but they're A-okay with a pop quiz there. And they will be able to absolutely slice and dice their way through. They ain't even done, Tony. They're going to be trying to cut their way through everything.
Tashi's still bouncing. He secured that jackpot, and he secures himself 2 KOs. And he'll take a photo. Going back towards the spawn. Groot Wall going to be broken. They can't do anything. They're going to have to go back to the last point, the last spawn. Because if they spawn there, they'll be run down by Macquarie. 2 minutes 30 once again on the clock. Adelaide Uni, you only have the Horn of Proteus to play with. Magneto, Meteor M start to come up here from this Deceptor. We need to see that one hit.
Need to see it hit as fast as it can here. And I'm ready, Tony. I'm ready to see the turnaround. I'm ready to see the change here. Mr. Samter, all eyes on you. Can you do it? You can. Tashi goes down. A good start there, Tony.
Yeah, good start. Accelerate with the glove trucks. And it is a double KO, followed up by Squashy with the Maelstrom. There is madness here. Adelaide sent packing. A mad dash to back towards the spawn. They will go. Tool still going to go for the hunt there. Freedom charge not quite available yet, but still dishing out a ton of freedom there with a Captain America. Oblivious finding nascently. Mission vehicle starts to push here for Macquarie, but they're slowly losing members. They're slowly losing their footing. Tool, will once again find Oblivious.
We'll find him in place there. Akamoto around the back. Squashy on the attack. Boundary going to be coming up from Clovan. Munch there as well. Trading straddle for straddle onto this one. Nationally does still have the dance floor if they need it. To be holding back for the moment, though. Tashi at the ready as well. Ooh, looking to bring it down. Or maybe the skill issue coming out. No, it's going to be the pop quiz. Popped again. A double KO. We'll get some shielding onto Oblivious as well, so they can't stop the mission vehicle. They might yet get stopped themselves. Uh-oh, see you later. And this could be curtains on this first half turn. And there it is. Nicely done. Macquarie, lock it in.
2, 3.
Lock it in 3. Only 53 seconds, though, Matt. So Macquarie didn't get it done as dominant as they probably would have liked here. But now we go to the defense, and do they change it up? No, still dual pull here for Tashi. They did swap off of the Jeff, though. So they put Nascently over towards the Luna. They don't get the full combination, the full toy box there. And for the likes of Adelaide Uni, what do we change up here? We're going to be still putting Alice on the Namor, but Oblivious over the Star-Lord? I don't mind that.
Yeah, I feel like the Star-Lord could be a pretty solid solution, honestly. I mean, it's going to be more difficult for them to try and take them out of the skies, right? And if they have that Galactic Legend online, might actually be able to cook with that one. We'll see if it is going to be locked down permanently, though. Squashy could be the difference maker, I feel, for Macquarie to try and deal with that, considering the shield there. But, I mean, one and the same, it can only do so much. So this really does mean that Macquarie have to be a bit more vigilant in their own approach, as Adelaide are making switch-ups here. And it's cool to see that they've got the Van Pool trying to take on the dual pool here, Tone.
Yeah, Van Pool against dual pool. Have to be really locked in to notice the difference there. The icons are so hard to see sometimes. Yeah, definitely it will be dual pool versus Van Pool. And you don't get to see that, because normally Van Pool's like one of those characters that gets banned out in the ban draft there, so you know, that's an interesting one that gets let through. But Accelerate and Tashi continuing to put the pressure on Oblivious and Munchduck and Alice, all starting to crumble. Tashi for 2. That is now probably almost a minute left. A minute taken away from the clock of Adelaide Uni.
Yeah, going to be able to tick away at the clock there and ready. Put it more into play here, Tony. Good freeze onto Mr. Samter. They're forced to hold back. They can't do anything there. It's going to be A-OK. We'll take it easy for a second now. Mr. Samter on the mission vehicle. Good focus around the back there. Right click coming in, but they aren't able to get much from it. Oblivious goes down first and foremost, and now Macquarie Onyx looking to see if they can freeze up even more.
Yeah, that's going to be tough shit. On to Alice, on to Munchduck. So Samter wants to walk back with the rest of the squad. They're going to have to regroup now. 2 minutes 40. Ultimates, though, starting to build up. Banhammer here for Ewan. Let's run out of it. Was that a snowball? Let's stop that.
I think you could be onto something there, Tony.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. We'll have to run that one back in the replay zone, but not today. It is going to be Apex Predator, though. Another one to run back in the highlight. Realistic. Accelerate. Absolutely shredding their way in with the triple. Tashi joined in as well, and you love to see it. Locked in place with nowhere to go.
Ours who, Matt. Accelerate's putting on a show reel here. Making his stats look good, but also his ultimates have been pretty phenomenal. And for Adelaide Uni now, 2 minutes left. We do have Eternal Bonds to force the walk up here. They also have Kraken Impact from Alice that could be good at setting up some quick KOs and snowballing a fight in their favor. But Boundary and everybody going to be playing on top of it. Fate of Both Worlds force them forward. And Meteor's going to be forced out. And Mr. Scepter blocked by Squashy perfectly there, protecting his strategist. That's what you're after from your Vanguards. But in the backline, it is going to be Galactic Legend finding Tashi, finding Accelerate. The strategists have hit. They've played their role perfectly. And now Tool onto Oblivious. He's going to have to run away.
Yeah, get away quick, smart there, Tone. Otherwise, they're going to be in deep trouble, to say the least. But I mean, even with them gaining mission area or mission vehicle control, Macquarie have plenty of time to get back and contest them here. So it's not all doom and gloom onto this one. Speaking of, we are going to be jumping into another fight because Oblivious is down. Freedom Charge now forced with the Boundary at the helm there. Alice is ready with more as well. Tashi are bringing out their ult onto this one. Time for pop quiz here. See if they are going to pass it or whether they may fail. The Kraken Impact is going to be on a deck as well, Tony, but it's Macquarie wreaking havoc again.
Oh, beautiful shutdown, but Alice is using the Kraken Impact to get away from Tool, who's chasing him down. Alice, a defensive use of the Kraken Impact, and it doesn't pay off. 30 seconds. Adelaide Uni, that was the fight for theirs to take, and now Macquarie, they still have ultimates as well to play with. Apex Predator, we do as well have Eye of Agamotto coming through, but blocked by Mr. Samter. Perfectly turn around there, and Squashy will fall. Laptrox though to pull Alice, sorry, Accelerate, trying to make that one happen all the way around the corner until onto you, and this is still Macquarie fighting that.
Fighting strong, fighting hard, Tony. Mr. Samter doing everything they can to fight to the very end here. But the problem is, there's a bit of a split here, you know. Macquarie, they're approaching it from all different angles. Excellently does at least bring out the dance floor so they can reconvene. You have Beast there as well, bringing out the Eternal Bond. Trying to fight as hard as they can. Kraken Impact over the top on the Nascently. Maybe more. Double in. Looking for more play into it. Tashi in trouble. Maybe not. They just keep bouncing through. No one can shoot them, Tony. Tashi's too bouncy. It's like he's playing fantastic.
Yeah, he's moving fantastic. Beautiful movement there from Tashi. Will finally get shut down. Ewan. Tool's back on. The stall's still happening here. This is when I thought Adelaide would finally cap. Tool is still running around with that cap, and he's blocking it. Portal comes from Squashy, and now Macquarie are back. Galactic Legend coming in from Oblivious, trying to shoot over the top, but blocked by the Portal, blocked by the Seraphim Shield. Tashi will shut down. Meteor comes through from Mr. Samter, doesn't find the dunk. Matt and Macquarie are back in full force. Mr. Samter shortly to follow, but will get some healing from the bubble. Squashy's still up and healthy. Everybody here from Macquarie is still able to stabilize.
Still able to stabilize and still able to keep their eyes on the prize here. Double. They crawl out the rubble. That will be Macquarie taking it away, Tony. What a big victory. And a huge defense to push them over the line. My goodness.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Tool just using the front side of that mission vehicle. We give props to Accelerate. MVP there on the Elsa, hitting some nasty ultimates, but Tool, that whole series, has to receive his props. That stall there, that whole last domination from Tool, lights out performance on the Vanguard. Squashy as well, getting that portal back in time. Such a clutch play from both of the Vanguards here from Macquarie. You can look at Accelerate. Yeah, those ults were pretty good. 18 final hits there. Tashi as well, showing us the dual pool. Yeah, those Vanguards, those strategists as well from Macquarie, they played a lights out series here against Adelaide Uni.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Tone. You know, they definitely played the very best they could there. And yeah, I think it was a pretty powerful series. I'm pretty happy with how that one played out. You know, I think it was a very exciting endeavor, and big props to both teams for putting on a good show for us there. I think that this won't be the last we see Adelaide Uni, though, Tony. I think there's going to be further chances to lock it down, lock it into our future. We see the competition, but we're going to take a look at how things went down today, first and foremost, and it's going to be RMIT Red taking it away from Macquarie Crimson there, 2-1 in favour of UNSW Hal against Deacon. Swinburne taking it one in the same, and will find their victory against the Monash Maniacs. And again, it's a game of threes as UNSW Raw takes it 2-1 against Monash Mutants.
Yeah, some crazy close games. The second page a little bit less so. UTS with a 2-0 over RMIT. QUT with a 2-0 over Adelaide Uni. And then Macquarie Onyx with a 2-0 over USID. Some impressive performances out of some of the top of the table here. UTS, QUT up at that kind of top of the table mark as well. Macquarie fighting for their way up there, Matt. What a impressive one as we check out this third page as well.
That's it. We did see Swinburne take it away from UNSW Hal. Macquarie Onyx one and the same. Take it away from Adelaide. Macquarie Crimson going to lose out to QUT. And UNSW Raw going to be taking it away from RMIT Red there. So a series of 2-0s all in all.
And then we saw the battle for Monash. It's Monash Maniacs versus Monash Mutants. It was 2-0 to the Mutants. USID, UTS. It was 2-0 to UTS. And then for the last one there, RMIT Black taking it 2-0 over Deacon. We saw a lot of these teams on stream, Matt, and a lot of them had some really, really solid plays throughout today.
Yeah, we saw a lot come out from these teams, and let's see the results of their hard work here, Tony. Our standings get updated. UNSW Raw undefeatable on to this one, as they will cement their placement at the top of the board for now. But that's going to be quickly followed by Monash Mutants and QUT there. Tied up for second. UTS will sit in fourth there, so not too shabby at all. One in the same. RMIT Black fairly close with Macquarie Onyx there. And RMIT Red and Swinburne, one in the same. A bit of a mixed bag of results here, but that's not the end. It's Adelaide Uni as well coming in ninth place there. UNSW Hal will be a relatively close, I'd say. One in the same with your Deacon, USID, Macquarie Crimson there, or at least taking a win. It's the Monash Maniacs. So keep my eyes on Tone. I'm hopeful for them. The next time they can get their first win.
Yeah, they came close. Domination, it looked good for them. They started off with a win, and then I guess it kind of fell apart from there. But yeah, look to Monash Maniacs, look to Macquarie Crimson, USID, and Deacon, all those teams at the bottom of the table to come out on top. Going into next week, we saw a ton of crazy competition. We saw a battle for the top right. We didn't mention it during the game, but Monash Mutants versus UNSW Raw, and Raw able to come out on top. They sit comfortably at the top of the table and prove that they deserve their spot there.
Yeah, that's right. You know, they have just a lot of big focus, a lot of determination being shining through, all in all, Turn. And you know what else is shining through? Our sponsors. A big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And as well, a big shout out to HyperX and Officeworks. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech, from high-spec to precision gear. Officeworks has what you need, Matt.
That's it, Tony, and a big shout out to Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high-quality ingredients and made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. So big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors here today. You know them, you love them, and we appreciate their support. And if you want to support the AEL, everybody, make sure you check us out on our social medias, whether it be X, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. AU Esports League is where you look. You can see all the highlights from our competition, and make sure you check it out. Some of the plays from today certainly going to be there. I'm certain of that. Now, Tony, that's going to be all from us today. A very big day of rivals, and can't wait to see more. We're going to be back same time, same place next week, though, everybody. So make sure you don't miss it, because this is heating up, and I can't wait to see you on the other side of the time stream. Ciao for now.